Welcome back. It's the Magical Mermaid Tarot channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at how you have proven people wrong, or how you've proven your haters wrong. Hi, my name is Diana, Psychic Intuitive, and before you are 4 piles to choose from. Pile 1 is from the Greer Tarot, and the associated symbol is this Nefertiti bust. Pile 2 is from the African Tarot, and the associated symbol is this anchor. Pile 3 is from the Girl's Guide to Tarot deck, and the associated symbol is this clownfish or fish. Pile 4 is from the Mystical Realm Tarot, and the associated symbol is this butterfly. Please choose a pile that you feel most attracted to. If you are undecided or would like to choose an additional pile, let me add your zodiac signs and I'll be right back. The zodiac signs associated with pile 1 are Taurus, Capricorn, and Leo. The associated zodiac signs for pile 2 are Libra, Sagittarius, and Virgo. Pile 3 is associated with the zodiac signs of Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. Pile 4 is associated with zodiac signs or symbols of Aquarius, Gemini, and Aries. You can assign 1 pile to each person that you're thinking of, okay? Please take your time, pause the video if you have to, make your choice or choices, and I will see you at your reading or readings. Welcome to reading pile 1. So how did you prove them wrong? Could be, how did you prove people in general wrong, or how did you prove someone you've chosen wrong? And you may have someone in mind that you've chosen in particular that you've assigned to this pile. So either way, we're going to figure out how you have proven them wrong. So let's move your number over to the left, and your totem here, which is the Nefertiti bust. You ended up with the Taurus, Capricorn, or Leo, and Leo. You ended up with those energies. So how did you prove them wrong? So I think that someone, or maybe people in general, used to think that you were kind of basic. I mean, yeah, just kind of basic, kind of an average, run-of-the-mill person with, you know, sort of average intentions or ambitions in life, maybe even kind of average looking or average type of, you know, aspirations. Like maybe they felt like, oh, you just, you know, want to be a teacher, or you just want to be a wife, or, you know, or you're just okay looking, or, you know, you're not really big into look. You look like a decent person, but, you know, you're not like anything special. And I feel like the way you've proven people wrong, pile 1, is your beauty, okay? The way you look these days, all right? Your mystique, your aura, okay? I feel like people feel that you have blossomed unexpectedly into like a gorgeous swan, okay? It could be that maybe they thought you were just average looking in the past, but now they think that you look like a goddess. Not even like a model or something, but like something otherworldly, like a goddess. That you now have aura. There's something about you, like you have like that it factor, right? You have that it factor now. And this is something people did not expect about you. This shift you would make. You may also have become very powerful. I feel like people thought that you were just average, you didn't maybe really know people or something, but now they see that you've become someone either high ranking, or someone with connections, or someone who has that aura, like you have spiritual power, like you have connections in the spiritual realm. You know, when you're very well connected on the spiritual realm, you have powerful spirit guides, you do spiritual work, you've communicated with angels, you work with all the powers that be. You channel light regularly in your own private practice. This amps up your aura, okay? And I feel like people may be sensing this. So it could be spiritual, or it could be, like in the world. Like maybe you're now more connected. You're part of organizations. You are a high-ranking member of organizations. You may be political. You may be like the PTA board president, or maybe even a member. Like you become influential. You become powerful, either in the physical realm or the spiritual realm, or both. And this is something, I think there was someone who was always thinking, oh yeah, Power One is just, they don't really have anything going for themselves. They're just kind of your basic average person. But boy, were they wrong. Okay. Also feeling like you may have married someone important, or maybe become the head of your own business, or started an organization or something that became very popular and powerful and profitable, maybe even, and your name has risen up in the ranks of the world. Okay, maybe they thought you were on the bottom of the totem pole, and now you're at the top of the totem pole. Someone's also, I'm getting someone thinking that maybe you used to be chubby or something, or maybe you just used to look kind of average, and now you're very slim, slender, sculpted, maybe even muscular. You have a pretty neck and bust, and you're just elegant and beautiful and gorgeous. And this is really throwing people for a loop. Okay, they did not expect that. Their jaw is on the floor. Okay, yeah, it's funny because in Egypt the name Nefertiti meant the beautiful one has come. They didn't view you as the beautiful one in the past. I'm gonna tell you that right now. They did not view you as the beautiful one, and now you are. Now you are. And this is how you've proven them wrong, through your looks, your aura, your power, your connection. Also, I'm getting the way you dress yourself. Okay, I feel like they expected you to just kind of dress average. That's kind of what they'd seen you do in the past, or maybe very laid back, or down to earth, or average, and you're now dressing like royalty. Okay, or even if you're not dressing royalty, it could be. I'm getting like stealth wealth. I just heard that. Like, it doesn't even have to be over the top, but like just the way you dress, it's very classy, classic. Cashmere sweaters, nice linens that are not cheap, nicely done. Not necessarily a bunch of name brands, but maybe it is. I don't know. But you've had this upgrade to your look that people did not expect. Okay, they literally thought that, and had said that you're like this, that you're very laid back, you're very down to earth, you don't really dress all that well, or maybe even mocked your sense of fashion, or mocked your looks in the past, and now you shut them up. Pawan. You're very spiritually pure. It could be maybe you got yourself involved in, maybe you're a bit of a bad boy or bad girl when you were growing up, and if it doesn't resonate, leave this rest for others. But maybe you're a bit of a bad boy or a bad girl, and now you're very pure. You're very spiritual. You're very good. Maybe you used to seem very troubled, or in a state of turmoil. Maybe you used to act out, and now you're very calm, very you come across like you have inner peace. Okay, yeah, you come across like you have peace. And these people thought that you would be locked up, or maybe end up going to jail, or maybe they felt like the way you were living your life, you are going to be like restricted, like on the inside. When people have tempers, or they're emotionally troubled, they're kind of a prisoner of those negative emotions. And I feel like people thought you were going to be like this, but you shocked them, because it's like you grew up, you blossomed. Okay, and you are now radiating beauty, radiating inner peace, radiating peaceful emotions as well. You also become a person of faith. You've maybe even healed yourself. Your faith is strong. Faith is coming through very powerfully. People are shocked that you become a person of faith. Perhaps you used to be like an atheist or something, or You just weren't about that. You weren't about spirituality and all that. You weren't deep like that, but you blossomed in that way. And this is a way that you are proving them wrong. They also felt like you just have so much peace. Oh my gosh. Also, they're getting that this person or these people thought that you were one of the have-nots in the past. Like, they just assumed that you were not going to get a lot of your wishes fulfilled in this lifetime. That you'd be one of those people that would just be dangling along and, hobbling along in life, just hurting and not having a lot of the things that you want, and doing without, and just accepting your fate. It's just going to be, you're just going to be one of those have-nots, the haves or the have-nots. They thought you were going to be one of the have-nots. But you are shocking people because they're realizing that you are one of the haves. You have a lot of the things, actually. It's like been a dramatic turnaround, or just they didn't expect it. You now have a lot of what you wished for, and maybe even a lot of what they wished for. They're seeing in your life. You're really impressing people with this, like out the wazoo. Okay, like crazy amounts of your wishes coming true. They feel that you may be a celebrity now. Maybe that's really throwing people for a loop. They thought that you were just going to be like a private citizen, average and all that, and you become famous even, or celebrity, or someone that a lot of people know, or you become very popular in your town, your neighborhood, in the country, and a lot of people know you. You have a huge network. You got a lot of friends. You're very popular now. Wow. Okay, let's take a look at your tarot card. We have number 4. I feel like for some of you, you're proving people wrong by marrying, okay? By having a man or a woman in your life. I think they thought you weren't going to be able to find the one or something, or get married, and you're finally married, and that's not the case. Then they feel that maybe you graduated, or you met a certain milestone. Maybe they didn't expect you to live this long. Oh my gosh, man, that's horrible. I know, but someone may have thought that you weren't going to live as long as you are right now. Maybe they thought you were too much of a wild child, or that you were too much of a bad boy or a bad girl, and that you were going to maybe crash and burn, or or something like this. Yeah, you're going to burn bright and then crash and burn. But you're proving them wrong, because they're realizing that you're making all your milestones. You're not going to be failing. You're going to be progressing, and things are just moving on ahead for you. Okay. That you have joy now in your life. You have joy. Someone expected you to be sad. These people were expecting you to, maybe not, like I said, not hit a lot of these milestones that everybody else has, like graduating, coming of age, going to school, getting a job, having a family, being married, I don't know what it is and why they would. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. But yeah, they thought that you weren't going to be able to get at these things, but you are, and this is how you're proving them wrong. I'm also getting like parties. They just didn't expect you to be the life of the party, or the person who is hosting others and being up there, well seen in community. Yeah, wow. You got the 5 of Cups. Yeah, I think this person, whoever they were, I feel like they really expected you to, I think they expected that they were going to do better than you. Yeah. They expected they were going to do better than you. But they just saw, thing after thing after thing happen for you that hadn't happened for them yet. I feel like this person saw you got married, and they didn't get married. They saw that you reached certain heights, or you got to be famous or something, and maybe they had aspirations to be well known, and it didn't happen for them. They saw that you moved into a really nice house, have a beautiful home, and they don't have a beautiful home. They're still working towards it. Maybe they're a little set behind, or they're still saving their money, or things happened to them that got in the way of their dream of getting a home. And so there's just this disappointment I'm picking up on when it comes to there are people who thought, yeah, I'm gonna be better than Part 1. They were comparing themselves to you. They were rating their success by if they were going to beat you, if they were going to be, beat you to things. They put themselves on a pedestal in their minds, like, I've got brighter prospects than Pal One, and they found out that, oh my gosh, Pal One beat me to this, Pal One beat me to that, specifically to getting a nice home, or getting a nice apartment, or getting a husband or wife, or getting to be wealthy or wealthier than them, or getting to be having status in life, right? Having some kind of title. This is how you're proving them wrong. Okay, we got the 2 swords. So I feel like someone thought that you were going to be paying them a lot of mind. Someone thought that you were going to be noticing them a lot, thinking about them a lot, contacting them a lot, talking to them a lot, but you don't really pay attention to them. You don't even notice them. You don't even notice them. And this is part of the disappointment that they feel. They thought they were going to be featuring, they're going to be a star in your world. Like, you'd have to look up to them and notice them all the time. But in reality, they're realizing that you're blind to them. You don't even notice them. I'm also getting, like, someone thought you were going to choose them. Or someone thought you were going to choose them. Or you were going to come their way. But they're realizing that you are actually avoiding them. And that you are, putting off deciding on them. Putting off. This could be someone you were in a relationship with. Maybe in the past. Maybe, someone was in a relationship with you. And, I'm also getting this. This message also coming through. This could be an ex of yours. Or a friend of yours who thought that they were going to feature brightly in your life. But they're realizing now that you've been avoiding them. You're not paying any attention to them. And they want you to choose them. But you're like, maybe let me get back to you on that. That's kind of energy I'm getting, okay? That's the vibe I'm getting. That you were like, you kind of shelved them. And you kind of like, I'll get back with you on that. Or you left their text hanging. Or something like this. And they wanted you to come hang out with them. And, and they're realizing, oh my gosh, Pal One is loving their life. Pal One has such a great life. They're not interested in hanging out with me. I'm not interesting compared to what they got going on. And this is someone who expected to be a star in your world, who expected to be chosen by you, who expected to feature brightly in your horizon, in your night sky or whatever. Okay, we have the 3 of Pentacles. Yeah, so I feel like someone did, I think the way you've proven someone wrong, Pal One, is they did not expect you to learn a trade, to go to school, graduate, to have a profession, have a career, have a skill. Wow. Man, this person, this is a particular person you got in mind, they didn't think much of you. I don't know. It's kind of sad. But what I'm seeing is that they didn't expect you to have a skill or a talent that pays well, that's doing well, that you're a productive member of society, you're contributing, you're building things. Someone didn't expect you to build a house. They didn't expect you to have a home. They didn't expect you to have a good job and be a productive member of society. Probably because maybe you had a rough start, Pal One. Maybe you started off really wild, or really like devil may care, bad kid. I'm a bad boy. I'm a bad girl. I'll do whatever. Rebellious. And this person thought, I'm a goody two shoes compared to Pal One. I'm getting straight A's. I'm gonna be good compared to them. They're gonna have a bad life compared to me because I'm a good person. Well, they found out that never judge a book by its cover, or yeah, I feel like you're proving them wrong because they thought you're gonna be focusing on them, but instead you're focusing on your life. You're focusing on building yourself up, your situation, your job, your home, your man. Like, someone expected to be your focus, okay, or your choice. We got the 9 of Cups. Wow. See, what did I say about all your wishes being fulfilled? Someone thought that things weren't going to work out for you. Oh my gosh. People thought things were not going to work out for you for some reason. Maybe they thought that things weren't going to work out for you because they saw you go through some disappointments. They saw you fail at certain things in the past. And, they're realizing now that you just had a really good recovery and that you were always good from the start. You just had a rough start, or That, just because you see someone fail here or there, that's not the whole picture, right? Don't judge a book by its cover. Don't get lost. Yeah, someone was being pessimistic about you, for sure, Part 1. Yes. They were pessimistic about you. They failed to pay attention to what were your strengths. What were this could have been an ex. What were your strengths? What were your good times? What were the clear, bright signs you were showing? They tuned all that out and focused only on the disappointments, only on the things that were wrong with you, only on the things that you messed up on. And so you're proving them wrong because they expected to see more of this. And you're showing that, no, I'm good, actually. People fail all the time. People mess up. You fail your way to success. This is something this person did not realize about you. They failed to apply this principle to you. It's the same with a lot of other people. You fail your way to success sometimes, right? Look at all these different inventors that tried a bunch of different things. You prove them wrong because you have satisfaction in life. You're pleased. You're happy. Okay? They thought that you were going to go on to have a dissatisfying life, a life filled with disappointments, just because they saw some things go wrong, or because they were a very pessimistic person who took maybe some news about you here and there, about this went wrong, that went wrong, as the whole picture of your life. But they've seen now that was not true. Okay, they made some really bad assumptions about you. Okay, we have the King of Rods. For some of you, you've proven people wrong. You've proven this person wrong. I'm just going to say them from now on. If I say you've proven them wrong, it's either people in general or a particular person, okay? But you've proven them wrong because you went on to be a leader in your own right. You've gone on to be a leader. You become a leader, or you become an entrepreneur, or you've taken on a position of authority. And, they did not expect this from you. They thought like you were going to be maybe a follower, or be just one of like a supporter, or play a supporting role. They did not expect you to take leadership in your life like you have. If that's not the case, then that's fine. Just if it doesn't apply, let it fly. It could be also that you have found a man, Part 1. You found a man. Maybe you're engaged. They may have seen that you had an engagement party or you had a wedding, and they are, honestly, I feel like they're a bit disappointed about this, maybe because they don't have a man, or they don't have a good quality man like yours. They just didn't expect you to get your life together, get a good job, get a good home, have fun, live a good life, get luxuries, get all the things that make you very happy and giddy, get a good man in your life who's devoted to you, or a good partner in life, who is very supportive of you. Okay. Wow. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and start to take a look then at your oracle cards. We have new beginnings. And I picked up on that earlier. I feel like this person, something didn't go right. Okay. They were a witness to something not going right in your life. Something didn't go right. And they expected your life to just kind of stagnate there, or to just kind of be stuck there. And, you've proven them wrong, because you closed that chapter and moved on to bigger and better things. Okay? You didn't let that define you. Yeah, I feel like you've proven these people wrong. You've proven them wrong because they thought that you were going to stay stuck with a crappy relationship or disappointing circumstances. But instead, you chose to close that door. You were brave, Part 1. You got your satchel. You have your life's experiences. This is a fool. You took your stuff with you, and you moved on to another chapter, another phase of your life. We have the one. Oh my goodness, number 30. XXX, number 30. In the Wild Unknown Pocket Archetypes book, the one also stands for Unus Mundus, right? One love, one world. And then we got you standing on top of planet Earth here, okay? That's interesting. Duality. As they thought that you would view yourself as someone who you were trying to receive things, right? Looking to receive certain things. And you're gonna wait around. If you receive those things, great. And if you don't receive those things, oh man, I'm sad. They viewed you as being the role of the receiver. Okay, they never once considered that you would be the giver. Okay, and let me explain. I feel like this person thought that you were going to sit around waiting to receive, but you decided you were going to give to the world. Okay, that since you weren't receiving the things you wanted, you're going to turn it around and focus on, well, what do I got to give then? Okay, since I'm not going to be the receiving one, what do I have to offer the world, right? And so this is where you're proving them wrong, is that you decided to shift your roles. And in so doing, you've been receiving, right? Because when you shift to become a giver, you get something out of it. You get something out of giving, Pile 1. Okay, when you give your talents, when you give of who you are, when you focus on how can I be productive? What do I have to add to this whole human conversation? And you shift your orientation and you're about, producing or creating, then, you get certain things out of it, like job satisfaction, self-actualization, a sense of, self-esteem, inner value, feeling, the ability to be able to look at something you did and say, wow, job well done. That was nice. I did that, So I think that they did not expect you to. They thought that you always just going to be there saying, what's the world have to give me? What's the world have to give me? But instead, you became someone who gives to the world, okay? And this is how you've proven them wrong. We have the feather. Feathers symbolize freedom, right? We got the wings, they can fly away. And then we have, especially with the feather breaking away from the wings and, falling down. This is telling me, the one that got away, right? The one that got away. So, Pile 1, I feel like someone expected you to be stuck. They expect you to be stuck on something. To be stuck with them, or stuck with disappointing situations, or a disappointing relationship, or to be stuck with someone who kept hurting you, or something that kept failing, or project that kept not working out. They expected you to stay fixated on that. And you proved them wrong because you let go, you moved on. And this was a form of divine protection. All right? You were like gone with the wind, right? Gone with the wind. They did not expect this. You were gone with the wind and you stopped noticing them. You stopped focusing on them. You decided to create a whole new world for yourself. A whole new world. A whole new world. Just kidding. But yeah, they did not expect this. Complete with your own Aladdin and your own Princess Jasmine and, a whole new world, And you left them behind. I definitely am getting a feeling like you left someone behind or left some people behind, and they did not expect this out of you. Okay, they hoped for a message from you, and they never got one. They never got a message from you. We have the gambler. Yeah, they didn't expect to lose you. Pile 1, and they gambled with you too. They gambled with you. They took some risks with you. They played around with you a little bit. They messed with you energy. I'm so sorry, but that's the vibe I'm getting. Or they thought they took a gamble on what they thought of you. They're like, I'm gonna bet that Pile 1 is gonna be a loser. I'm so sorry. Okay, this person, or they may have thought this, or they may have thought that you were going to. Yeah, but that's not what happened. It is that they lost you. They thought they would keep you. They lost you. If they thought that you were going to be, taking too many risks and losing out and all this, the reality is that the risk you took, Pile 1, has paid off for you. It has made you, led you to certain skills, mastery in certain skills. It's led you to find the right people to work with. It's led you to create quality things and to be a quality and productive member of society. So your risks that you took paid off. That's something they did not expect, okay? They expected you to lose, okay? They may have also expected you to be a gambler. Maybe you had like a gambling addiction or something. But in reality, you've cleaned up your act now. And that's the case. You cleaned up your act. You're being responsible, reliable, doing your part. You proved them wrong in that regard. They got breaking trail. A breakthrough is at hand. Right. Again, remember I told you they thought you would be stuck. They thought you'd be stuck. That you wouldn't be able to make your way through. And so this is what surprised them, is that you did. You cleared your way through, and you did it with a smile. You did it with good cheer, and you had a good work attitude. You worked your way through maybe debt, or worked your way through maybe some circumstance in life where you were stuck, or you had to clean up your act in some type of way, and you successfully did it. You made your way out through to the other end. You got your life back together. You got out of some kind of quagmired, or maybe some kind of entanglement that you were caught up in, and you have made it through. Okay? Or it could be that you had all this work you had to do in relation to either schooling or a job or project or something, and you cleared it out. You cleared it out. You got it done. You got it done. So this could be in relation to a specific thing that you were dealing with, and that this person's aware of. Or this could just be like the general energies in your life. Yeah. So we have beauty. Yeah, I keep getting that. Like, I keep getting that they didn't expect you to be pretty or handsome. They thought that you were going to look average. But in reality, you're very cute. You're very attractive. It turns out that you were actually, the looks that they viewed as average was really that for you, Pal One, your looks are like avant-garde, or like, high fashion or something like this, okay? You know how sometimes some of these like high fashion supermodels, when you see them in person, sometimes they kind of look, I don't know, man, like kind of average or something, or look like their faces aren't that great, but then they will go through a blossoming stage and get very tall, and that boniness and that kind of awkwardness turns into this like svelte, gliding, otherworldly alien beauty. I don't know. I just feel like they watched you transform. They noticed that what they thought was average was actually something very special. That you look very unique. Your beauty is very unique, Pal One. That's what they failed to recognize about you in the past, is that you had a unique look. They thought that you were average looking, but in reality, you're a unique beauty. And this is how you prove them wrong. That you were viewed by someone as being a unique beauty too. They didn't think that, they thought that they had you pegged like, oh yeah, Pal One is average looking. But then they saw you through someone else's eyes. Through either your man, your woman, your boyfriend, or someone, and they saw that person is like, views you as the one. Okay? That person views you as there is none like you. There is no other. And like, again, I'm getting those ex vibes again. That this could be an ex. And your ex is like, they just thought you were okay, but they realizing that someone saw you, that what they were seeing is just okay, just all right. Someone saw as gorgeous. Someone saw as otherworldly beautiful, like the one that they refused to let get away, but your ex let you get away. But this other one is doing whatever it takes. They're gonna be pure. They're gonna be loyal. They're gonna do all these things for you. This is what they didn't expect, okay? Because you're that special to them. This is how you're proving your ex wrong, or someone wrong. It could be an ex-boss too. That you're going to be viewed as so valuable by someone else, or some other company, or some other situation, that they're going to treat you honorably, because they don't want to lose you. They view you as so unique and so rare, and they don't want to let you get away. And so they're sad because this person from your past let you get away. They're realizing that they had a good thing with you, that you were special. They should have treated you better. Okay? Very interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to your next. We have burden. Yeah. boy, man, they're really regretting viewing you as a burden. They're really regretting viewing you as a burden, a load, a responsibility. All right. And they're realizing now that instead of you letting them view you as a burden, you were just going to walk away. Leave that situation behind and let them have the burden. Okay. Oh, I'm kind of getting, so you think I'm a burden? Well, let me go ahead and remove my burdensome self out of your life. I'll be gone. And then when you left, okay, you proved this person wrong because they thought you were the burden. But when you left, they realized that the burden was there. The burden was theirs. And when you were there, you were actually helping. They should have viewed you as a partner. They should have viewed you as help. They should have viewed you as helping to relieve burdens, not as the burden. Okay? So they're very disappointed. They're mourning. Someone's mourning the loss of you. Jesus. They're really regretting the way they viewed you. They're realizing now that they should have viewed you as the one because someone else is viewing you as the one. That they were blind to the good things. They realized now they were being pessimistic about you. And that poisoned things. And they're now realizing, it's my loss. Wow. This is how you're proving them wrong. Because they thought you were a burden. You're like, all right, I'll leave. I'll remove my burdensome self from you. And they realized that their situation was burdensome. And it was you were helping to relieve that burden and not the other way around. Okay, you weren't adding to their burden. You were helping to relieve their burden. And they were just pessimistic and had the wrong thoughts. They were holding the wrong thoughts about you. So we got, but you'll still have it finished by 5. Everything's on fire. Oh my gosh. Part 1. You left someone behind, honey. You left someone behind. You left them holding the bag. I feel like this person didn't realize how much you were saving them. How much you were contributing. And how bad their situation truly was. Their situation was bad, Part 1. Oh my gosh. And it's like they projected it onto you. They stopped seeing they started thinking, I'm great. You would do things for them and get things done. And they'd be like, yeah, but look, Part 1, you got this thing done. Look how much else is being left behind. You suck. You're not very good at this, are you? But really, it's that their situation was messed up. Their situation was so heavy duty, so intense, that the fact that you were getting things done was a miracle. The fact that you were trucking along and trying to hang in there and continue to work in this burning building, things falling apart, or maybe they were upside down on their bills, or this company that you were working at, they're on their way down. Okay, this company was going downhill. It had nothing to do with you. That part had nothing to do with you. You were just trying to work under these constraints, work in this difficult situation to help them out and be there for them. But instead, they projected the heat, the intensity, the burdensomeness, the crappiness of that situation that was intrinsic to that situation. They projected it onto you because you were just there. Okay? But you left them behind. You moved on. You realized, oh my gosh, I'm working in a burning building. I'm out. And they're just taking everything out on me. They would have, I'm getting like anger tantrums, or they would take their anger out on you because they were feeling stressed about the situation, and they would start viewing you as the problem in some kind of sick, twisted, demented kind of way. And so you stopped. You gave up. You gave up on working. You packed your things. You left, or you quit. And now they're realizing, oh my gosh, you are not dispensable. You are valuable. Okay? You were helping. Part 1. Wow. Okay, next we got freedom again. Oh my gosh, Pegasus. Lots of synchronicity here, Part 1. Check this out. So we got the feather, right there. We talked about how my association with that was freedom. Okay? That I was picking up on. And look, we got freedom here. We got here are the wings that the feather fell from. You broke free. You proved them wrong. They thought you were just going to be there taking it. being the one who's not only going to be helping, but also going to take the brunt of the accusations as the problem, the one where it's because of you everything's falling apart. It's because of you, or maybe not so directly, but obviously they were aware they were in a stressful situation and the situation was bad, and that had nothing to do with you, but they were taking it out on you. They were getting snappish, they were stressed, and they would just lash out at you, and they would view you as an additional burden, when in reality you were helping. So you broke free. This is something they did not expect you to do. You did not expect you to leave. See, the Pegasus is just, and look, a unicorn. Oh, look at all that power. They didn't expect you to be so powerful enough to leave, powerful enough to break free. And once you broke free, they realized that they had a rare one in you. They had a rare one. Not everybody's gonna sit around taking a shit, okay? Or taking their shit. Not everyone's gonna be sitting around accepting, all this. And maybe that's it. Or they realized that they thought that you were like other people, right? That they dealt with. That you were like a lot of other people. They would just sit there, moping, like you didn't have anywhere else to go. You didn't have anything else to do. They thought that you couldn't go anywhere. They thought you were stuck. They thought that you couldn't get away. They thought that you didn't have the drive, you didn't have the will, or you didn't have the means. But they're now realizing that you had the means the whole time to get away. You had the means, but you didn't. You did not get away. And this is wow. This is something that they. And now you're tuning them out. You're tuning them out. They may have sent you text messages trying to say, "Where you at? Do you hear me? Hello? Do you read me?" I mean, you're gone, honey. You are gone. This is how you prove them wrong. You would stop caring one day. They thought you would always care about this situation, their situation, care about them. You stopped caring, and they're hurting over it. We got number 34, fish. Business, finances, commerce, gain, wealth, abundance. Wow. So, part one, you proved them wrong because they thought that you were not something that would bring them profit. They thought that you were not good at finances. They thought that you were foolish, that you took risks, like financial risks that were not going to pay off. They kind of doubted your business acumen. They doubted your ability to create wealth. But you proved them wrong, Pile 1. You've proved them wrong. You've either gone on to have a nice career where you're making money. You've gone on to have your business is building up. You have good business partners. The risk that you took paid off. The gamble that you made is paying you out big time, bringing you wealth and abundance. That's what I'm seeing. So they didn't think that your risk was going to pay off, and it is. Maybe you invested in a certain idea and they're like, oof, I don't know, Pile 1's idea. They kind of viewed your ideas, your business ideas, as like kind of foolish, kind of silly, kind of too risky, but it's paying off. It's paying off, Pile 1. They're seeing this, and this is how you're proving them wrong. You may have gone to school for a particular thing and they thought that's a silly line of work, career to invest in and go to school for. What the heck were they thinking? Oh, that industry is dying. Don't they know? Doesn't Pile 1 know that that's not the way where it's at these days? You have gone on to, your choice is paying off. Your choices are smart, are sound. This is how you're proving them wrong. We have lightning flash, creative inspiration. Wow. They just didn't view you as the brains of the business. They didn't view you as an entrepreneur type. They didn't view you as the type to, be brainy, come up with ideas and be like, I think I'm going to do this. They didn't view you that way, Pile 1. Okay? They do not view you that way. And it's sad. It's sad. That they didn't think you were capable of that kind of genius, or that your ideas were going to lead to, we're going to be productive, okay? They didn't view you as brainy. They didn't view you as being capable of having great ideas. Well, you showed them, Pile 1, because you had some type of great idea, some type of, I don't know if it's the type of idea that helps people, maybe an invention, or maybe you had a brain flash about, here's how I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this thing like this, and it's going to go so much better, so much faster. And it's paying off. Your ideas are working out. You're doing something and you're making a lot of progress, making a lot of headway, and you're working smart, not hard. And this is how you're proving them wrong. I feel like this person maybe thought you were, I'm so sorry, I don't want to say it, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. They realize now that you are not as dumb as what they thought. Okay, that you're smarter than what they thought. They're realizing, so you prove them wrong on that front. They're realizing that you are actually have a lot of good business acumen and you know what you're talking about. That you're smart. Okay, that you see things they don't see. Just because they're realizing now also that just because they didn't see it, didn't understand it, didn't mean it was wrong. At the time, they were so confident in themselves that I know what I'm doing. I've been around, or I have lots of experience. I'm pretty smart. I'm smarter than Power One. That's not going to work out. They really put themselves on a pedestal ahead of you. And pride comes before a fall, right, Power One? So, you show them, man, their pride is taking a hit. I'm going to tell you that right now. Their ego. We got the Horse King. Assistance and control. Horses keep coming up. We got a horse. Got some equestrian energy here. Again, horses are about freedom. Power. They didn't expect you to be powerful and to break free. Okay? They thought they could tame you. They thought they could harness you and, kind of like, tame you and break you in and make you stay. But you're a wild horse. This is where you prove them wrong. They're like, oh my gosh, Power One. Either they think that you're untamable or that you did not allow them to tame you. This is where you prove them wrong. They thought they tamed you. They didn't tame you. Or they thought that you were tameable. You're not tameable. You go where you like. You're a powerful creature, Power One. You're a powerful being, entity. And you get to choose who you assist, who you let control you, okay? Who you let have an influence on you. It's your choice. This is where you're proving them wrong. They thought that you don't really have a choice. You're a creature they can just take control of and tell them which way to go and what to do because you don't know anything. Yeah, Power One. Wow. Well, you proved them wrong. And I feel like it's like you may have left their side and gone to go join up with someone else. I'm getting that vibe very strongly too. This is where you prove them wrong. They never thought you'd leave, and they never thought you'd find someone else. You found someone else, and these other people treat you very well, very respectfully. They respect your power. They're happy to have it, and they want to treat you well. And they know what you are, this new people that you're working with. They know who you are, this person that you're dating or you're in a new relationship with. They see you for who you are. They respect it, they value it, and they cherish it, and they're putting you to good use, okay? In a way that you find respectful, that you want to do. You want to assist this person, okay? I feel like this way you're proving them wrong is they thought that you weren't a good assistant or you weren't wanting to help them, but in reality, you always wanted to help them, but they weren't treating you correctly. So you've gone on now, or maybe they felt like you weren't a good helper or a good assistant. You're showing yourself to be an exceptional assistant and an amazing helper out of this world. And they're like, oh my gosh, maybe I should treat Power One better. Well, maybe you should have. We got love. True love and fidelity. Exactly. So I feel like for a few of you, this person may be an ex who cheated on you. Maybe repeatedly. And they thought you were just going to sit around and keep taking it. Yeah. You proved them wrong. You left them behind. And you went and found someone who really loves you. And who is faithful to you. They are like, oh my gosh. I should have been faithful to Power One. I should have been faithful. This is how you're proving them wrong because, they thought that you would sit around taking it. And they thought, well, what choice do you have? They thought this about you. They thought, what choice do you have? Other people are going to cheat on you too. Other people are like me. But they were wrong. This is where you prove them wrong because you found someone who loves you and is faithful to you. And they recognize this. They recognize. I don't know how they know. I don't know how they know that your current partner is faithful to you or that your current people or partners or whoever you're in collaboration with, again the Three of Pentacles as well, is treating you correctly. They thought others were like this and they're realizing, oh, that's just me. There are some quality people out there, and Pile 1 found them. And it wasn't me, it was someone else. This is how you're proving them wrong. Their loss. We have the difficult way. Your approach might get you to your destination, but it's definitely not the easiest way to get there. Reevaluate your plans and determine where you might be making things unnecessarily difficult for yourself. So this is how you're proving them wrong, Pile 1. Is they're realizing now that they were doing things the difficult way with you. Oh my gosh, look, we got a fire here, right? This woman's sitting in an office. Someone's telling you on intercom, but you still have finished by 5, and you're sitting here in an office that's just burning up, right? Caught fire. They expect you to stay there and have it done by 5, or to still get the work done, even though the building is literally burning down. So they're realizing now what the way you're proving them wrong is they thought that the way they were working you, or the conditions you were working in, or the situation you were in before, was a tolerable way, as was an okay way to do things. You've proven them wrong because they now see that was a difficult way. That was torturous. It was inhumane. Inhumane. And it was just unnecessarily so. And that they could have done better by you. They could have done better. They thought at the time that was good enough. They're realizing now, no, it wasn't good enough. They were wrong. They were wrong, my Pile 1. Yeah, they're realizing that they made things too difficult for you. And that this was not the right way. We have key. Key people, core of the problem, and pass. They thought that you wouldn't be accepted by other people. They thought that you wouldn't be trusted by other people. They thought that, other people would not, give you access, or that you would not be given access, or that you would not be viewed as important. They really just assumed that about you. Okay? They assumed that, you were the problem even. Okay? There's no way, it didn't even cross their mind that you would be viewed as a key person and not the core of the problem. Okay? But that is exactly what has happened with you, Pile 1. And they now understand that they were wrong. They understand that they were wrong about this in you. That maybe they should have given you greater access to. They should have let you be the key person, the main one. They should have let you be that person. And they were wrong not to make you that person, because now someone else is doing it. Okay? That you are the person to be trusted. You are the person to be trusted, Pile 1. Okay, next we are having the crown. Exactly. They should have crowned you. They should have crowned you. They didn't expect you to be someone of standing, someone of authority, someone with a position, someone who is given a lead role, someone who is the main one, someone who has a main position or high-ranking position. Okay? They didn't expect you to have high-ranking accomplishments, or literally high status. They didn't expect it of you. Perhaps some of you, one or two of you may have married someone with a name, or married someone, a high-ranking person. You may have gotten married to the CFO of some major company or something. And in the meantime, they were thinking they were all of that, and mistreating you. But you went on and left their ass behind, and not only married someone with a high standing status and community, but also they treat you amazingly well, like a queen or king. They're not playing with you. They're not playing with it. Okay, with this opportunity with you, they're trusting you. They're giving you the key to their home. It's possible also, like, maybe you were dating someone who didn't want to trust you, who didn't want to give you the key to their apartment. Even though you dated them and been with them a long time, they kept their key to themselves. They were like, no, I gotta hold on to my space and all this. And you left them behind, and someone else quickly gave you their key. It could be someone you were dating. It could be a company where they just gave you greater access to the company a lot quicker, because they recognized that you were a stellar individual, Pile 1, and that you bring a lot to the table, that you can be trusted, you should be trusted, you are the one to trust. You've proven them wrong. It's that you are the type of person who gets that kind of access, that should be given that kind of access, that should be crowned queen or king. And it's possible also that they are viewing you. They thought that they would be the ones who would be treated like this, but they were not. See, their head is without a crown, but you have a crown on your head, you see, and they didn't expect that. All right, we have number 50, compass. Yeah, I really feel like this person, they viewed you as lost. They viewed you as not knowing where you were going, not knowing what direction to turn. Okay, they were the ones who were supposed to tell you where to go, and that you didn't really know which direction to take, what to do, and you need to be given direction by them or given direction by others. And so where you've proven them wrong, you have an internal compass, and in fact, not only are you did you not need them to give you direction, but you have your own internal compass and are capable of giving yourself direction as well as others. You're capable, very capable of directing others, telling others where to go. You have a strong internal sense of compass, even compared to a lot of other people. And this is a way you prove them wrong. You prove them wrong about this, that you really do know where you're supposed to be. You know, if this is the case where you chose the line of work you wanted to do, or you chose the business you wanted to invest in, but they thought that you were making a silly risk and it wasn't going to pay off, they're realizing now that you know exactly what you're doing. Your compass is working just fine, maybe even better than theirs, better than others, and you know that they were wrong about you in that way. Next we have, this is from Tales from Earthsea, a Studio Ghibli movie. This is Prince Aaron. This is where Prince Aaron is hugging the dragon called Theru. So the relationship between Prince Aaron and Theru started in a place in this movie, the Tales from Earthsea. In the movie, it starts with, and it's an anime movie. I love anime movies, in case you guys hadn't guessed, but I love Studio Ghibli movies. But it started from a place of mistrust. They didn't really trust each other, or specifically, Theru did not trust Prince Aaron. Okay, and it developed into a very deep bond between the two of them. And they ended up helping each other overcome trauma from the past. So there's a progression here. And I feel like the message here is that you have proven them wrong by showing that, number one, they should have trusted you. Okay? They should have trusted you. They should have stopped being so pessimistic, focusing on what was wrong, and worked on learning how to trust you more. They should have trusted the evolutionary process more, okay? That things were going to improve. They didn't do that. The way you've proven them wrong is that this has now happened between you and someone else. Where maybe you didn't start off with mistrust, but you know how when you first, start with someone, you first meet someone. I mean, you're not going to give them your bank account number and your password, no matter how nice they are, right? So, you get to know people. And people prove themselves to you over time. And, the longer you spend with someone, the more you know them and the more things progress. I feel like they didn't quite do this with you, or they didn't view you as capable of making it from that mistrust stage to a place of where you're being given the key, where you're being crowned. And they're realizing that everyone deserves to have that chance, including you, Pawan, including you. All right. And this is where you've proven them wrong, is maybe they were set to view you as, no, you can't be trusted. No, I'm never going to trust you. I'm never going to let you graduate to, deeper and deeper levels of trust with me. Or I feel like I'm always just going to keep you in this box like this, where I don't think you're quite the type to move on to these other levels, or to be promoted, or to be given a deeper level of trust, or to be, maybe they didn't view you as the kind of person who could go off in life and progress in life and get in deep with someone or some situation. And you've proven them wrong in that regard, Pawan. You've proven them that you can tame a dragon, that you can, take a big baddie out there and make them your friend. They didn't expect you to go out there and get this, big baddie friend and you'll be close, you'll be bonded. You've blown their minds. They did not expect this from you at all. And so this could be a person, this could be a situation, this has now, because you tamed this situation, or you allowed someone to tame you, right? You allowed yourself to because you're a power one. You're the powerful creature here. And you've met your prince. They didn't expect you to go meet your prince or find someone that you would submit yourself to or decide to be vulnerable with. And they didn't understand that you were capable of that. And if they treated you right, maybe they would have gotten the same thing out of you. I don't know. And that's what I'm seeing in the cards for you, Pile 1, as far as how have you proven them wrong? How have you proven people wrong in general or particular person? I hope this reading resonated with you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a like. Let me know exactly how it resonated with you in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. Take very good care of yourself, okay? And don't forget to hype my channel. I would really appreciate that. This will help elevate the channel and help it grow. And whatever you do, you will be blessed 1,000-fold. Take good care of yourself. And I will catch up with you at the next one. Bye! Welcome to your reading, Pile 2. So, how did you prove them wrong? Okay? How have you proven them wrong? Let's move your number to the left. Okay, you ended up with this Anchor. You ended up with Libra, Sagittarius, and Virgo. Okay, so let's just do a vibe check. Let's start there, okay? So, Pile 2, I feel like there are people who thought that you were going to be lost in life, okay? They thought that you weren't going to settle, okay? Maybe they thought that you were not going to find someone to marry, or that you were not going to, they thought that you were going to be the type to always stay single or stay single for a very long time. And the way you proved them wrong is that you maybe got married quickly or got married early, or you just eventually got married, and they did not think that you were going to get married, or that you were going to get into a committed relationship or something like this. This could also this could be about your job situation, or maybe travel arrangements. It's possible that someone thought that they thought, I'm just going to say they could be the person you've chosen for this. You're wondering how one person in particular, how did you prove that one person in particular wrong, or it could be people in general. So I'm just going to say they, okay, and then you can apply it as it fits for your situation. But I feel like they thought that you were going to be cast adrift, like you would always be maybe a nomad, always moving about from place to place, not finding a place to stay for a long time, or they thought that you would not commit yourself, or they thought that you would maybe you had wanderlust. They thought that you would always be traveling, always be everywhere or something. And now you have maybe bought a home, or you got married, and you've been in this marriage, or been with this person for a long time, or been living at this place for a long time. You're not renting, you bought, or you have been at your rental for several years, and that's shocked them. It could be that you haven't traveled in a while, and people are kind of shocked by this. They just assume that you're always going to be traveling, always going to be on the move, or maybe they feel like you're not the type to stay settled anywhere. Maybe you're the type to work at a job for 1 year here, then another job for 1 year there, 2 years there, 6 months, But you've proven them wrong by staying at this job for maybe multiple years, like 5 years, 10 years or something, okay? Now, I'm also getting, something, they thought that you were kind of like a fly-by-night. Yeah, they thought you were a fly-by-night. They thought that you wouldn't, stick around for the long term. They didn't think that. They thought that you would be here today, gone tomorrow. They thought that you would take forever to reach a certain destination. Okay, they thought that you would maybe take a really long time to graduate, or but instead you proved them wrong, because you graduated and you moved on to the next phase of your life, and this has shocked them. They did not expect you to. Yeah, they just thought you'd always be on the road, and now you bought a house. I'm definitely getting that vibe, like you're more settled, more permanent, coming across more permanent than what they expected. Okay. Yeah, they thought you would leave. They thought you would leave somewhere or someone, but they're surprised that you stayed, okay? They expected you to be angry. I feel like they expected you to be angry and full of conflict or something. But instead, you have purified yourself, and you now have peace. You have peace, and they're surprised by this, that there's peace in you. I feel like someone viewed you as like always having anger tantrums, being an angry person, being someone who's always filled with negativity or rage or something. And you have proved them wrong, because you are a person of peace as well. You do get angry about certain things, but you have a lot of peace in you, and they didn't see this in you at first. They didn't see this in you, but now they do. You're proving them wrong, because they're realizing that you're a spotted creature. Be careful not to paint the kettle black, or whatever. That statement where they say, they made big assumptions about you, pal, too, because you have a feature or a trait that's sort of a big feature or trait with you, and they thought we were all the way like this, whatever it was. They didn't expect you to have, they were very biased against you. I'm getting biased. Like, they thought that you were, maybe it was all about lust for you. Someone thought that it was all about lust for you with someone. And they're realizing now that no, it was about the light inside of that person that drew you to them. It was about what that person was like on the inside of it. Or they realized, or maybe they thought you were just some kind of sexy creature. It was all about looks and sex for you and stuff. Like, maybe that's what you're all about. But they're realizing, no, you're an angel. You have goodness in you. You have faith. You have purity inside of you that comes through very clearly and very consistently. It's just that you are a spotted creature. That means just because you're sexy doesn't mean you're not an angel of light. There are sexy angels of light, I'm sure. I almost feel like these people are Puritan. They're kind of like, all or nothing thinking. They kind of get caught up in that, or they like to paint things a certain color, and they don't understand that things are textured, and that people can be all kinds of things, or a mix of things. They kind of have this set outlook, and so you've proven them wrong. Partly it's their fault, because the way they think is kind of effed up, but you are what you are, and they're starting to realize that now. They're starting to realize also that you're a person of faith, that you believe in God. I'm getting an interesting message. Hold on. They thought that you were, I don't know, maybe they thought that you were a sinful person, but they're realizing now that you spiritualize sin, or that you, and proudly, it's like you believe that something they consider sinful is an expression of God. It could be maybe like when maybe this person, they think makeup is sinful, but when you do makeup, you feel like you're glorifying God's work, and for you it's a pure thing. I'm just giving you an example. I also feel like someone they expected you to not move. They expected you to not travel, or maybe not visit them, or not go somewhere. And you're proving them wrong by going somewhere. You're proving them wrong by visiting or traveling or making a move. Maybe they feel like you never go anywhere, you never do anything. This is their assumption about you, or that you're slow to move, but you're going to be moving. And this is where you're proving them wrong. They're like, whoa, Paltu's coming along, or Paltu's going to be visiting, or Paltu traveled or will travel. So just take it as it resonates. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at your first tarot card. We're getting Justice. Interesting. Okay, so Paltu, I feel like someone expected, they thought that a couple of messages coming through. They thought that you would not receive justice in a certain situation. They thought that you would continue to accept unfair treatment. Yeah, that's something I'm seeing. They thought that you continue to accept unfair treatment in a certain situation or from a certain person. And they see now that they were wrong about that. You will not be accepting unfair treatment. In fact, that you are getting that fair treatment. you made it happen, or that it came your way. You know, you got a fair settlement in a legal case, or you started getting treated fairly by the people around you. They also thought that maybe that God didn't have your back. Maybe people had mistreated you and they thought you were just going to be a victim. But they're seeing now that this is where they're wrong about you. They're realizing is that God has your back, and that whatever they did wrong to you, they suffered for it. They paid a price for it. That hurting you or mistreating you, they thought came without consequence. That there would be no consequence for that. But they're seeing now that there is major. This is a major arcana, major consequence. This is what they had wrong about you. They didn't realize that there would be major consequence for hurting you, or for misstepping or mistreating you. Okay. And they're seeing you that way now. They also didn't think that you were a serious person, that you don't take life seriously. They're realizing now that you do. You take life very, very seriously. That you weigh the pros and cons. That you are a person of substance, and a person, there's a certain weight to you. Okay, you're not the one to be quote unquote taken lightly. Okay, you don't deal with that. And that if people take you lightly, yeah, I just feel like they thought that you didn't have to be treated well. They thought that you didn't have to be treated right, and you proved them wrong, because you either made sure it happened by suing someone and taking them to court, and getting justice for yourself, or that, you know, it's like the Piper came calling. You know, they did something wrong to you, and you know, you didn't just overlook it. You came, like, I'll give you an example. Like, maybe your neighbor dented your fence or something, and they thought, oh, you know, Pals who won't mind. I'm sure they're not that, you know, it's not that big a deal. I'm sure they won't take it seriously. And then you came and knocking. You came knocking with a document in hand and some picture evidence. You had a video camera. You said, like, my video camera caught you doing this on this day. Look, boom, your lawnmower hit my fence. And now there's this big dent, and I've gone and looked it up. It's going to cost $325 to fix it. Here's the invoice. Here's the result. Like, I mean, damn. Okay? Pal 2. They're like, what? But I thought Pal 2 would just take this lightly and not make it such a big deal. No. Don't mess with Pal 2. Do not mess with Pal 2. This is how you prove them wrong. They thought they could mess with you and get away with it, or that you weren't being taken seriously by others. And they're realizing now that others take you very seriously. Now, for a few of you, they didn't expect you to litigate something or get a divorce or take, you know, like really bring the hammer down, drop the hammer, legally speaking, on a certain situation. But you did. And you proved them wrong there. Okay. We got the Queen of Swords. Okay. Yeah. So for some of y'all, this is a divorce situation. You separated yourself from a situation that was not following the rules. They didn't expect this. Okay. You were like, oh no, I'm about my truth. Okay. I speak the truth. Also, something you proved them wrong. They thought you were lying about something. Yeah. They thought you were lying. But they now see that you were telling the truth. That you are a woman or a man of truth. Okay? You don't play games. You don't tell lies. You don't fib. What you say can be trusted. Okay? Also getting that, this person's realizing they thought that you were clingy or something. I think they thought that you were clingy. Yeah. But they're realizing now that, oh no, you're quite independent. You're independent. That what it was is that if you are being friendly or showing up and hanging around, it's that it came with the condition that you be treated well. And the moment they stop treating you well, you're done. You're done. You're not the type to keep hanging out and tolerating bullshit. Like, no. So they're wrong about this in you. They thought you would keep tolerating things that were not right. And you're like, no, I don't do that. I don't do that. I'm not about that. I'm not going to be the victim. And if it's not being corrected, I'm gone. Like, wow. Yikes. I wonder what happened there. We got the 8 Let me know in the comment section. I'm curious about your whole situation. We have the Eight of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah, I feel like someone really thought that you weren't serious about your life. Oh my God. They thought that you didn't take life seriously. I feel like maybe at one point, maybe you weren't working, but you were doing something else that was very serious. This person, I don't know, they're either kind of dumb or they just turned a blind eye to, they didn't judge you accurately, that's for sure. They either didn't have all the information, they didn't judge you accurately, or they're not very smart. Yeah. And so they thought maybe when you weren't working, they thought you were just sitting around twiddling your thumbs, having a lazy life. But in reality, you were taking care of something very serious. Maybe you had certain medical treatments you had to pursue. Or maybe, you were barred from working. You couldn't work, legally speaking. So you didn't want to break the law. Or maybe you were taking care of something just equally as serious, you can see the scales, as working a job. And that is the truth of the matter, okay? And maybe now you're working and you've got a job now because you've taken care of whatever that was. And they're realizing, oh, I was wrong about Pal 2. I thought Pal 2 was trying to avoid working. I thought Pal 2 was incapable of working. Maybe they thought that you didn't have the legal permission to work. And you're working now. You're employed. Or maybe they thought you were lazy and you're working now and working very well, doing very good quality work, steady work, very focused, you're driven, you're amazing at your job, actually. Very productive. Excellent work ethic. Excellent. And they're like, what? You proved them wrong there. Wow. All right. Let's move on here. We have the Four of Wands. Also, they thought that you weren't taking something seriously. They thought that you weren't taking something seriously, Pal 2. Could be a marriage, could be your career. Yeah. They thought that you didn't take something seriously, but they've noticed that you do. That you put your head down, you get to work, you do what you need to do. Okay? So, yeah, I feel like this person also thought that maybe it could be your schooling. Could be a schooling. Someone thought that you would never finish your education or something, but you did. You either finished your education, or if that's not the case, then they thought that you wouldn't reach certain milestones when it came to your career or something that you're working on. They thought, this person thought that you weren't capable of finishing what you started, or you weren't capable of progressing in life in something. They didn't think you were going to have many anniversaries, or maybe they didn't think you were going to live a long life. They thought you were going to live a short life. That you were going to, oh my God. This person thought hey Lord, I don't know, man. This person didn't expect you to live as long as you're living. They didn't expect you to have reached all the milestones possibly in a career or marriage that you have. So you're proving them wrong. They're realizing now that though you are independent, you're also very dependable. Okay? They didn't think you were dependable. They didn't think you had continuity in your life. You have continuity. They're shocked about this. They didn't expect it. Wow. Okay, we have the Two of Swords. Or is it the Two of Wands? No, it's the Two of Swords. Another thing that's going on here, Pal 2, is this person did not expect you to be able to tune them out. Okay? Perhaps maybe you avoided them and they didn't expect this. Okay? They didn't think you could tune them out or stop thinking about them, dealing with them, like you put them on, like you kind of like ignored them. Okay? That you became blind to them or blind to something. And they didn't think you could do this. They thought that you would always be about them, or they would always be about someone. They didn't think that you they didn't expect you to be able to make a choice or put something off. Let's get more information. We have the moon. Okay, more mystery. Okay, that's what it is. Yeah. So, Pal 2, I feel like this person, I think they used to think that you were an open book. Yeah. They used to think that you were an open book, that you were very accessible. They thought that you, again, the moon, crescent moon coming up twice here, that's not a coincidence. I feel like this person did not expect you to go away. They did not expect you to become a mystery. All right, to them. They thought they would always have access to your life, always know everything about you, always, it's like, now it's like you're a mystery to them. They didn't expect that. They didn't expect that they would become blind to your situation. They thought they would always know everything about you, always be in the know about you. But now they're realizing that they're blind to your situation. That your situation is a mystery to them. Okay? That you prove them wrong. They really thought they would always have access to you. They really thought that they would always see you clearly. Okay? And now you're hidden from them. And they didn't expect that. You're proving them wrong. Another message coming through here is that they thought that you were a liar. They thought you were a deceptive person. But they now know that you are not. They did think you were lying. They thought you lied a lot about things. But they now realize that, or a lot of what it was is that they didn't fully understand you. That you're mysterious to them. Your ways is mysterious to them. They don't fully get what you're about. And this call gave them room to think that you were lying or something about some situation or about your life in general. Wow, very interesting energy. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at your first oracle card. We have spiritual strength. We have number 9, spiritual strength. Part 2, this person, they thought you were weak, or they thought that, you lacked spiritual strength. They didn't expect you to be as strong as you are. They didn't expect you to be as strong as you are. They made certain assumptions about your inner fortitude. Okay, they thought you couldn't handle certain pressures. You were weak. Okay, but they're starting to see now that you're bearing under the weight of certain rules and or expectations. That you're really good at following the law. You're actually really good at following rules. They didn't see this before about you. Now they see it. Okay, they see that you're very good about following certain rules. They feel that you know how to bear with injustice, that you've actually had to deal with certain injustices, and that you were strong. They view you that way now. Okay, they feel now that you are being strong while dealing with certain injustices, and this is something that they didn't think about you before, and now they do. You've proven them wrong, because they thought, Paul 2 can't handle any kind of injustice or unfairness. But they realize now that no, actually, you are very strong while dealing with major injustice, major type of mistreatment. You've been very strong, okay? And it's a hidden strength that they didn't see. It was internal. They saw you being calm and everything, and they thought, Paul 2's not having to deal with that much. In reality, they realize now that you are bearing a heavy weight. Heavy. We have the crone. Number 13. Wow. I don't know why, but I feel like this person may have thought that you were childish or something in the past. They thought you were childish. But they're realizing now that, you're actually quite wise. You're quite wise. You may look a lot younger than your years, or you may have like a baby face, or give off a vibe like you You've not dealt with much in life or something. But in reality, you're very intelligent. You're very experienced. You are wise. Also that you have undergone some type of transformation. They didn't think that you could change. Yeah, I feel like someone thought that you were stuck in a certain phase or a certain way of being. But they're starting to realize now you are simply growing. You are growing. That people grow. For some reason, they didn't apply this rule to you. So it's like you're helping them see their biases, helping them see their weird thinking also. You've taught them something. And you've taught them, first of all, treat people fairly. They didn't expect that. Be aware of that people are carrying a heavy load. That you are carrying a heavy load. Okay? This is where they were wrong about you. They didn't realize how heavy of a load you were carrying. This is where you proved them wrong. They thought you were having an easy life, looking calm. But in reality, they now have the eyes to see that you're holding something up. Okay? Bearing under the weight of some type of injustice. Also, they see that you have transformed. You've let go of a certain situation, or you transformed out of the situation where you were being treated unfairly. They think you would always be stuck there. And you've transformed away from it or out of that situation or condition. You wised up. You are now more experienced. We got the snail. Interesting. On the backing of these cards, I saw some snails. Yeah. Oh, no, it's a tortoise. Another slow-moving creature. So here's what I'm getting, Pal 2, is that you feel that they've been wrong about you. Is that you have no problems moving on from some place or something. You're not tied down. You're not tied down at all. I feel like this person, or they thought that you were tied down someplace or somewhere. But you are capable of moving. You're capable of packing up all your shit and moving on. That's one message coming through. That you're capable of moving on, honey. Oops, let me get that off of there. They thought you lacked patience. They thought you lacked self-reliance. But they're realizing, yeah, they were wrong about this. They thought that you were dependent or clingy or something. But they're realizing now that they're wrong about that. They were wrong. They didn't think they would see the day that you would be self-reliant, doing your own thing, handling your own business, making slow but steady progress in your life. That you are patient. You patiently work through things. They didn't see this in you before. I suspect it was there before. They just were blind to it for some reason. Interesting. All right, let's move on. We have the Queen. Ooh. Determination and sacrifice. See? So I feel like, Paul, too, I feel like what this person had you wrong is they thought that you were about being dependent on others, not working towards your goals in a steadfast fashion, looking for shortcuts. You are not disciplined enough to make certain sacrifices so that you could get somewhere. All this. But in reality, they're realizing that they were wrong about that. They were wrong. You were working through things, and towards things. You were making certain sacrifices. You did make certain sacrifices. You carried a heavy load. You did. And you reached certain milestones, You made it to certain birthdays. You made it to certain anniversaries. You held up a marriage that was difficult, maybe. Or you held up a career that demanded a lot from you. Or you took on some very heavy responsibilities and you made it through. But in the meantime, they were thinking you weren't doing that much. In the meantime, they were thinking that you would just keep accepting, or if you were being treated unfairly, you would just keep accepting it. In the meantime, they thought that you were avoiding work. In the meantime, like they realized they just had you so wrong. That you're hardworking, you've taken on a lot, you are actually self-reliant and independent. You like to do your own thing. You're the queen of your life. You're very determined in the things you do. You sacrifice to make the things you want happen. Wow. And that you've reached certain accomplished stages in those things. Jeez, man. This person, I don't know. It could be your family. It could be friends who misjudged you. Could be an employer, or maybe your in-laws, or I don't know. Could be your partners or ex-partners. But yeah, finding sanctuary. Opening to your spiritual source. So, pile 2. Yeah, we got spiritual strength. We got spiritual source. So I feel like this person, pile 2, or they did not expect you to be spiritually powerful. To have, a lot of times when you see a turret, or like a castle turret, or some kind of high, building like this, it represents fortitude, strength, protection. So I feel like they're realizing that you're very spiritually powerful. That you have a place where you get spiritually fed from. And they thought that you didn't have spiritual strength. They thought you weren't being spiritually fortified. That you were sort of like weak and sort of tossed about by the wind, or like the challenges and the pressures of life would sort of buffet you, and the winds would come through and you were just vulnerable. But they're realizing that you're not. You have a shell. You have the sword of truth. You have wisdom on your side. You're very spiritually powerful. You can really take on a lot, is what they're realizing. This is what they had wrong about you. They thought, they're realizing that you're the opposite of what they thought when it comes to being spiritually powerful. We have healing. Yeah, that you're healing. I picked up on that earlier in the vibe check. That you're healing from something, or that you healed. They didn't think you were going to heal. This person, whoever they are, okay, they have a very static view of life. I think that they expect people to be one thing and not change. Maybe because this is the way they are. They don't change much. Or they've seen a lot of people in their lifetime that don't change. But the truth is that people evolve. People grow. Okay? Yes, there is movement. And when there's no movement, it's because certain chakras are blocked. And so they're going to have to come back in another lifetime to try again until they can work through these blockages. But they thought you were like this. Maybe they thought you were like them. But they're realizing now they didn't think you could heal yourself, pile 2, from a certain, like maybe having anxiety. They didn't think you could heal yourself from your fears. You had fears or anxieties. They didn't think you could heal yourself, but they're realizing that you did, and that you did it through this spiritual strength within yourself that you have going on. They're realizing that now. We have ladder. Yeah, you've ascended. They did not expect you to ascend, to reach a goal, I'm getting stairway to heaven, You proved them wrong because they thought that you didn't want to grow as a person. But you've proven them wrong because that's what you are about, actually. That's what you're about. The way you do it, your timetable, your schedule, your methods, you're not looking for their approval. You're doing it your way. And if they want to be confused, they can be confused, okay? But you are who you are. You're wise. You're intelligent. You have spiritual power. You have spiritual sanctuary. You're healing yourself. You take life seriously. And you don't allow yourself to be messed with. You avoid situations where you're not being treated fairly. You just don't do it. With the major arcana, it's a very serious matter. They're realizing that that's what it's about. It's not that you're weak. It's that, oh no, I would be weak if I allowed for these injustices. They're realizing that's how you view it now. That you are being strong by not allowing for for injustices. You are being spiritually strong. We have the hangover. I feel like this person thought that you used to maybe abuse alcohol or something, or abuse certain substances. How are you proving them wrong? Perhaps they realize now that even though you abuse certain substances or you used certain substances, all right, maybe you drink occasionally or you go out and party for a little bit, it didn't mean you lacked wisdom. They actually thought that because because you drink a little bit here or there, or you smoke a little bit here or there, that this means that you're stupid. Okay, you're proving them wrong. That you don't have to be perfect to be a pretty amazing, stellar, and awesome individual. Okay, you don't have to be completely clean with substances. You don't have to be. And if that's not the case, if you don't take any substances, like smoking or vaping or alcohol or whatever, then I think that you're proving them wrong by them realizing that they were hallucinating about you. They were hallucinating. They had you wrong. They're like, what was I smoking? What was I drinking? Okay? And this could all apply, maybe they they're like, what was I smoking? Why did I think of pile 2 as less than what he or she is? Why did I do that again? Why was I having these illusions about pile 2? Right? And they're realizing that about you now. Okay? They're starting to wake up from their stupor and their misunderstandings and realizing they were wrong. We have dynamism, Vega, falling eagle, dynamism, dynamic, bright star. Wow. So, for something to be dynamic, pile 2, it means that it's there's a lot going on, right? There's a lot of changes, there's a lot of activity, there's a lot of energy, progress, forcefulness. They thought you were just sitting around. Look, they mistook your calm demeanor to mean that you didn't have a lot going on. You weren't really engaging life. You weren't really doing the hard work. They're realizing that they were wrong, that they were caught up they had a fog of thinking. They didn't realize that, being calm doesn't mean you're not doing tons of work on yourself, on your life. Being like calm in demeanor, or, they just viewed you as kind of like a low energy person or something. They're realizing now that they were wrong to think that you or less than of you based on that. Okay? Maybe because you didn't travel much or something. I don't know what it is, but they just realizing that you're actually very dynamic. Your world is bright. There's so much happening. You're hardworking. You have a lot going on. You just have a lot going on. And they kept getting this wrong about you because you seem so calm. They think that there are times when you seem very calm. It doesn't seem like you got a lot going on, but in reality you do. And so they had you pegged wrong on this, and this is where they're feeling like you're proving them wrong. That you're actually a powerful bird. First we got the raven or the crow. Now we have, the bald eagle or something. Okay. Wow. That you're very powerful, and that you got a whole lot going on. This is where you're proving them wrong. We got number 33, key. Got key in pile 1 as well. Different deck. Unlocking, answer, destiny, openness, solution, fulfillment. I think that they thought that you wouldn't be trusted, or you wouldn't be giving access to something. that you would never find the solutions to something. But they're realizing now that you are the solution finder. And the way you find solutions is with your mind. Okay? You're very intelligent, very smart. You can solve puzzles. Okay? You find answers. It is your destiny, they're realizing, to find the answers. You're not one of those that flounders all your life, Paltu. That's what they're realizing about you. They're like, what? Okay? You're the type that, given time, persistence, you find answers. You may move a little slow at times in their opinion or something. They think you. I'm getting. They were misled by your calm demeanor or the way things seem to be have been moving slowly in your life or something. Maybe delayed, or I don't know what it is. But they're realizing that, oh my gosh, those are just circumstances and I was misreading the situation entirely. That's what they're realizing about you, Paltu. You have proven them wrong because they're realizing that you're about solutions, you're about progress, you're about work, you're not lazy, you are about internal work as well. There are a lot of people who don't even bother with doing internal work. They don't bother, okay? But you are doing the hard work, the hard lifting. That eye of horse, more healing energies. Clear vision and protection. First of all, Paltu, this person didn't think that you were very spiritual. They're realizing now that you're not only are you very spiritual, but you've invested heavily on the spiritual and that you have a spiritual sanctuary. Okay? They are where you prove them wrong also is they're realizing that you have the inner sight. You have inner sight. You can see what's actually going on. They didn't think you could see. They didn't think you had a third eye opening. You did. You do. They're seeing that now. They're also seeing that you have the ability to heal yourself from whatever, emotional issues, physical issues, whatever's going on, you have the ability to heal it. Yeah, I'm getting healing, health, restoration. They didn't think you could heal yourself from some illness, or they didn't think you could heal yourself from something, but you've healed yourself, and they're surprised about that. Maybe it's maybe you had some type of illness that a lot of people don't tend to come back from. Maybe you had struggles with your weight, or maybe you had issues with your vision, or you some sort of overload on your system. I don't know. Interesting. We have the chess queen. Oh my gosh. They thought you weren't all that smart, or they did not think. They're realizing now that they underestimated your intelligence. How to? They underestimated how smart you are. Okay, it says here trust, strategizing. They're realizing now that you trusted yourself, even when they're trying to come across to you like you shouldn't be trusting yourself, that you really don't know what you're talking about. They're realizing now that your trust in yourself was not misplaced, no matter how much they try to make you doubt yourself. That you are an excellent strategizer, that you're smart, you're intelligent, you outwit problems, you solve problems, and maybe you even outwitted them. They were trying to do something with you or against you or something. That's possible, and you proved yourself able to outwit them. Okay, you outwitted them. They're realizing that you're formidable. If they want to take you on in a game of like logic or trying to see if they can outsmart you or something, they better come prepared and they better come ready, because you're not easy to take down. They're realizing this about you. This is where you've proven them wrong. That you're really intelligent. Perhaps you play chess. Maybe they didn't think that you were smart enough to play chess well, and you actually, this is just a very specific example, that you play chess really well, or they saw you demonstrate your intelligence with something. We have the mystic circle. Your abilities will be enhanced. Yeah. So they've watched you evolve, Paltu. They see now that you trusted yourself and kept working at, you didn't allow any feedback to derail you from stopping the path you were on. You kept along that path and developed along that path, and now you're a master strategizer. You're a master thinker. You're an intellectual. You're super intelligent. You watched patterns. You observed the flow of things. And now the decisions you make are excellent. Okay? The calls you make are unparalleled, as far as, like, if you decide not to do something, there is an excellent reason for it. If you decide to do something or make a certain step, you know it's probably one of the best steps anyone could take. This is what they're realizing about you. You've proved them wrong. They thought maybe you were a good thinker, maybe you were kind of average or something, but they're realizing you're at the top of the food chain when it comes to your intelligence and your ability to suss things out and to make good decisions. They see that they thought that you would stay stuck at a certain level, but in reality, your abilities have been enhanced. They didn't think you were capable of growing or getting any better. Maybe because this is how they are, I don't know. But, weird. We got infinite opportunities. Remember that there are an infinite number of ways for you to succeed. Wow. When you release the illusions of limitation, you will step confidently into the flow of infinite opportunities that are always available to you. See, I feel like this person, they thought that there was a path that you needed to be taking to succeed. They had it mapped out for you. Okay? They thought that they knew, they knew better than you what you needed. But instead, here's how you prove them wrong. What you ended up teaching them is there are infinite ways for you to be successful. Infinite ways for you to do something, be successful at something, or to be successful in general. And the way you have chosen is just as good as any that they could have thought for you, or other that they might think you should be taking, or better. Okay? You prove them wrong because you have generated a lot of opportunities for yourself, and you have a lot of, maybe they thought you didn't have a lot of opportunities. Maybe they thought that Pal 2 is doesn't really have a lot going on for them, so they have slim pickings on what they can do. Maybe they can go work at Walmart, or maybe they can go do this, but in reality, you are like an artisan. You're intelligent, you're a strategizer, so therefore there's a lot of different jobs you could do. You have a lot of talents, okay? And you're very determined. And so because of this trait within you, the opportunities are wide open. Okay, this is where you prove them wrong. They thought you had limited opportunities. No, your opportunities are wide open. That's what they're realizing about you. You could do pretty much anything you wanted to do. That's what they're realizing because of your intelligence. Street, circulation, sports, exhibit. So, part 2, you may have a business or something. It's possible you have a business or a place of where you sell things or you put things on display. Okay? And you may have a shop. And I feel like this person they did not expect you to be able to do this. Get this business going. They did not expect you to be an entrepreneur or to have some kind of stall or store or shop or side hustle or a business where you're in charge, running things. They did not expect you to do this. You prove them wrong. I think they thought that you'd be, maybe that you are clingy and dependent, and you'd be waiting for someone else to take care of you or something like this. Waiting for someone else to, handle your business for you or help you out or give you handouts, maybe from them. And you're doing your own thing, and it is beautiful. Oh my gosh. It is beautiful. You're classy. You're a class act. That's what they think of you. They think that your business is classy. Your business is fancy. It's rarefied. Like, not everybody can do what you do or do it the way that you do it. It stands out. And they didn't expect this of you. Okay? I mean, not that they thought that you were low grade, but they just didn't expect you to have this kind of finesse. Okay? They didn't expect you to become popular, to be known. Right? We got an exhibit, to be seen by others, and for people to come look in on you and be like, ooh, that looks nice. This looks good. Da, da, da. They didn't expect you to have it together like that. Also, I'm getting like they didn't expect you to have nice things. Perhaps you have some nice things, Pal 2. Some nice gems, jewels, some nice bags, nice shoes, nice things. And they didn't expect that you would be able to manifest that for yourself, and you proved them wrong. They expected you to always have like kind of basic things, or stuff from like I mean, there's nothing wrong with Walmart, okay? I'm not trying to diss Walmart, but Kmart or one of these, like, just basic items that are just non-name brand or whatever. And it doesn't even have to be name brand, but just your class, your classy, your taste, your sense of taste. You're very refined, Paltu. They didn't expect you to have fancy taste and to have nice things and have accrued nice things. We have ship exploration. Yeah, they expect you to be stagnant. Definitely getting like a lot of movement, movement. This person, or they do not expect you to move, Patu. They expect you to be stationary, to not do much, to not go anywhere. And so you are proving them wrong, because you're either going on a trip, or you are not. I'm getting circulation, moving around. You're moving around, you're going to different places, you're doing different things. You're getting going on something. And they expected you to just always be stuck, always be stagnant, never making movement. Could be symbolic of your life in general, or of a particular aspect of your life, or of travel plans, or something like this. They expected you to just be stuck, okay? So they're shocked at all this movement, the dynamism, the exploration, the movement, okay? Maybe part of the reason you weren't moving in their eyes before is because you had important things you were taking care of, and they were busy again misunderstanding you and misconstruing you, when really is that you take your life very seriously. So therefore, maybe travel was not as important to you during a certain time, because there was something you were taking very seriously. Okay, we have 51, moonlight, falling right beneath the 2 crescent moons. Another crescent right there. Not a coincidence. They didn't expect to see the different phases in you, Paltu. This person is, I'm sorry, but if it's a particular person, they're not very sharp. That's my opinion. I'm sorry, but that's my opinion. How could you not expect cycles of growth in people? You know what I mean? Of course you're going to grow. Of course you're going to evolve. Surely as the phases of the cycles, phases and cycles of the moon, people grow and evolve. Nature grows and evolves. That's just life. And so what this tells me is that this person is pretty rigid in their thinking, and this is their problem, okay? But you are proving them wrong, because they thought you would always be at a certain phase. They didn't expect you to go through different phases of evolution and progression, and they're shocked about this. They're shocked also that you have leaned out. Maybe you lost weight. They're shocked at the fact that with time you're looking better. That shocks them. Maybe they thought with time you would look worse, but something is shocking them is that with time you're looking better. Wow. Or that you're doing better. Next we have, this is from the Studio Ghibli movie, Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. Oh my gosh, look at that, guys. Look at that. This is a female pilot. Okay. So, they didn't expect you to be independent, Patu. They didn't expect you to be a powerful person in your own right. They didn't expect it. This is where you're proving them wrong. They thought that you would always be like a weak person, dependent, or that, they assume some past assumptions about you would stay true. That you'd be a weak person, you'd be dependent, that you'd always be lazy and not want to take on too much. Not pull your own weight, I don't know what it is, but they just didn't expect you to be a leader, to take charge type of person, to get moving, to get going in life, to progress, to move on to other aspects of your life, to have a goal, to have a destination, to be a go-getter. Okay? They mistook a phase of your life where you were not doing these outward things to mean that you were never going to do these outward things. There was another type of progress you were making. They didn't understand you. They didn't get who you were. They didn't understand your life's journey, so they misinterpreted you. They misconstrued you. And they're realizing how wrong they were about you. and that you were just maybe in a cocoon phase. I keep hearing cocoon, cocoon, so I'm just going to say it, that you were in a cocoon phase, and they misinterpreted it to mean you're just a lazy person. Quick to judge, quick to put a bad label on you. Wow. And that's what I'm seeing in the cards for you, pile 2. If you have enjoyed this reading or found it resonant, please give it a thumbs up and let me know exactly how. I'm curious to know how this reading resonated with you. Be sure to hype up my video. I really deeply appreciate it. May God bless your handiwork and reward you 1,000-fold. Take very good care of yourself, okay, pile 2? And I will catch up with you at the next one. Bye! Welcome to reading pile 3. Welcome to reading pile 3. So how did you prove people wrong? How did you prove them wrong? Let's move your number over to the left. How have you proven them wrong? We have this beautiful fish. Looks kind of like it might be a clownfish, but we don't see the coloration. But it's a fish nonetheless. This is what you've ended up with. You ended up with Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer the crab. Okay. So the way you're proving them wrong, pile 3, is that you are very abundant. Very abundant. You are fertile too. Possibly you've had a kid, or you have money, and these people did not expect it of you. And you've grown emotionally, and you have emotionally and spiritually too, is what I'm getting. Okay. You just have good luck and prosperity in your life, and I feel like they didn't expect you to have this. They didn't expect this from you. This is how you've proved them wrong. Also getting pile 3, that your life is very balanced. Okay? You've got all the different aspects going for yourself. You may have psychic abilities or spiritual power, and that was not expected. I feel like they did not expect you to have these powers, okay? They did not expect you to have wisdom, connection to the divine, a tranquility and balance in your life. They did not, tranquility and balance in your life. They did not expect you to have clarity about situations that most people, or a lot of people, are confused about, or to have access to hidden knowledge, okay, or just to be able to make good judgments. They did not expect this. I feel like this person may have not put you on in that realm in their minds. They didn't view you as particularly insightful in the past. Maybe that's possible. They didn't view you as particularly, or they went through a phase where they didn't quite understand that you were like this, and so this is why you're kind of catching them off guard with it. This is how you're proving them wrong, okay? They're wrong. They thought maybe you didn't quite understand things, and they're realizing now that you do. They also didn't think that you were capable of having a business, or taking your business seriously, or being the type to begin business ventures. So them seeing you, if you've been doing that, this is the way you're proving them wrong. They also feel like there was maybe a substance that you were addicted to or something, or that you really favored a lot. Maybe it could be sugar or candy or alcohol or cigarettes or smokes or whatever. And they did not expect that you would beat this addiction. I think that you beat it, you no longer indulge in this substance at all, or you're indulging it very little. And they are taken aback by this. They're kind of, they're like, what? I did not expect pile 3 to clean up their act like this. Honestly, pile 3, I feel like maybe they didn't think that you were going to be as successful as you are, personally speaking, okay? Or they didn't think that you'd be doing like business, property, legal, like being grown up, adulting, right? So they didn't expect you to be good at adulting or getting your stuff together and doing having property to deal with, having a good business or a career to deal with. I feel like for some of you, they didn't expect you to be as attractive as you are, okay? They didn't think you were going to end up being that attractive, but they're realizing now that you're actually very attractive. And they didn't expect that. So you, wow, you got them there. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's take a look at your tarot card. The Three of Cups. Okay. So something is successfully, I said success, yeah. Something is successfully concluded in your life. You have celebrated successful outcomes with friends. Maybe they didn't expect you to have friends, good friends. They didn't expect you to successfully conclude certain things in your life. Maybe they thought that you would be a non-starter, or that you would just be flailing and floundering in certain aspects of your life for the rest of your life, like you would never rise to the surface, or rise to the challenge and overcome something. They did not expect you to just have good friends and do partying. Maybe you used to be more introverted, not have as much of a social life. They didn't expect that from you, and now you do. We have the Eight of Pentacles. They didn't expect you to have a good job, or be really good at your job, or be really good at doing something. They didn't. I don't know why this person didn't think. Maybe there's something you do in particular that they didn't realize you were going to be so good at doing. Okay, this could be your career, your job, or some skill or talent that you have. You're really, really good at it, and it's led to a lot of happy endings, happy conclusions, and people have celebrated your success. Okay, they did not expect this. Pile 3, I'm definitely getting substance abuse under control, because with the Three of Cups, especially the negative energy can be about, over drinking or overindulging. And here we have something being brought into balance. Okay, so for quite a few of you, or for some of you, there was some substance that you were getting into, and they did not expect you to get this under control. They did not. So you surprised them there. Next, we have the Devil. Yeah, there was some sort of addiction, for sure. It could be a toxic relationship too. Perhaps there was someone that you were dating for a long time, and they always thought that this person was not good for you. They always thought that you need to leave that behind. They didn't expect that you were going to get away from this person, or that this situation was going to heal or become more temperate or balanced, or that you over relying heavily on a certain substance or activity or something, or overdoing something, or being overly latched onto something was going to give way to balance and moderation. Okay, they did not. You proved them wrong, because they thought you were just going to keep doing this thing crazy until the end of your life, basically, at crazy levels. And so it could be also that maybe this could be like a brain chemistry thing. Maybe they didn't expect you to be able to bring some type of brain chemistry issue under control. Maybe it was depression or bipolar or something like this. And now you found the right cocktail, right? The right mix of chemicals to help balance you out. They didn't expect you would get there, but you are there now. So congratulations to you. We have the Five of Cups. They thought that you would, maybe you had a habit of being pessimistic. It's possible. Maybe that was your addiction. You moped a lot. You were very maybe you used to be very depressed, and now you've become more positive, more uplifted, more you focus on the brighter side of life. I mean, you acknowledge mistakes, but you don't let it define you, and so they're really surprised at how you have turned away from this. You're proving them wrong by being the type of person to acknowledge what you did wrong and saying, you know what, I'm sorry I did that. Oops. Maybe you were not the apologetic type in the past. That's possible. But now you are. You acknowledge your mistakes. You're not just all cocking your head, I'm perfect. You acknowledge what your failures, your flaws, and maybe they didn't expect this. That's just for a few of you. If it doesn't resonate, don't take it, okay? They also feel like, you get more rest these days. Yeah, maybe they felt like you were doing something you're healing, you're restoring. I feel like they felt in the past, Pile 3, that you overdid something, for sure. You were always overdoing something, or there was something in your life that was way out of balance. And it was not moderate, it was not temperate, and you have brought it under control now. And you're resting, you're healing, you're restoring. They did not expect this. They thought you would just keep going and going. I could come up with a good example. Like, for instance, let's say you maybe you always used to listen to very loud music in your car, but you realized that it was maybe causing you hearing problems or busting your eardrums or something, so you stopped. They didn't expect this. They thought you'd be doing that for the rest of your life. Or maybe, and I'm talking about like really loud music. I'm not talking about when you turn up the music loud to have some fun in your car. I'm talking about like, the kind where you can hear the car shaking from the street, okay? And stuff like that. And you stopped that because you realized that there were some things that you were upsetting, some people you were upsetting, and some things in your own life that you were upsetting. Or another example could be, maybe you were overdoing a certain substance and it caused you some health problems. And it filled you with regret, and so as a result, you backed away from it. You're now resting, backing away from this thing. It could be a difficult relationship with someone toxic, and they're shocked that you left this person, right? And you're now getting space and resting and staying away from this person. You've exiled this person from your life. This is something they did not expect. You proved them wrong, okay? Or this substance situation that wasn't good for you. We have truth. Oh, we're getting the scales here again. We have one of the scales. Oh, yeah, both actually are there. And where did we see the scales? I guess one I saw it somewhere. So, part 3, they did not expect you to level up and, face the truth about your life. Face the truth. It could be when it's your weight. They did not expect you to lose weight. If it's your weight. If it was how you treat others, they did not expect you to fix that and start treating others better. And to have good friends who like you and, who gravitate towards you because you treat them well. They did not expect that. Okay. Wow. We got Eros. I'm seeing that they did not expect you to get married. Okay, some of you are married. They did not expect you to have a man or a mate or be engaged, or a woman. They did not expect you to be blinging, man. They did not expect you to be doing so well, getting good work, getting paid well, and affording to buy nice things. They did not expect you to be so intuitive. Yeah, and I got that during the vibe check, is that they see you as very psychic, very spiritually empowered in that way. You're able to see the unseen and pick up on the undercurrents, and be able to tell the future and look into. Maybe you prove them wrong because they thought you didn't really have the sight, but it turns out you do. You're able to. Maybe you prove them wrong. Maybe they doubted something you said, but later on it came to pass, and they're like, "Oh, Pile 3 is." Pile 3 is keyed in, dialed in. Okay, Pile 3 has intuitive, psychic powers. We have the priest, perseverance and faith. I feel like this person thought that, I think because of your past abuse history with abuse, or history with abusing certain substances, or maybe you being abused, or whatever, some kind of toxic situation in your past, they didn't think that you had the caliber, the quality of perseverance, okay, the caliber it took, the perseverance that it takes, the faith, the spiritual strength within. They just didn't assume they just assumed you didn't have it. They assumed you didn't have it, and you've proven them wrong. Okay, you may have gone from struggling with something like this to being a counselor in this thing, overcoming it and becoming a counselor to help others, to be a good example. And they did not expect that. They did not expect you to rise the ranks of priest or counselor in this thing that they thought you wouldn't even be able to beat. Okay, we have impasse. Reflect and redirect your energy. Yeah, they expected you to get stuck. Part 3. This person, they expected you to get stuck in life and to give up and just stay in a certain area. Just stay in a certain phase of your life and stay stuck to getting this substance and not being able to progress beyond it. And it looks like you learned your lesson and and you found your way through. Anyway, we have crystal vision. Yeah, definitely. Part 3, you're maybe a psychic, you may be an intuitive, you may be a tarot reader, you may read crystal ball, do palm reading, do energy readings, you just share insights. You may have prophetic dreams, or you share your insights with friends and family, and they usually come to pass. People usually, you have that reputation. It's possible, but maybe this person did not see that about you at first, but now they do. They get now that you have your third eye is opened. Your third eye is opened. Okay. Next we have inaction. Yeah, this person, they thought wrong about you on this, but they thought that you would always just accept the status quo, that you would never make or take any steps towards a situation or a problem. It could be a particular, depending on if this is a particular person you've chosen for this pile, it could be a particular circumstance that it's referring to, a certain event, but it just feels like, they think that you prove them wrong, because they realize now what they were thinking of you is that you wouldn't do anything about the imbalances in your life. You wouldn't do anything to try to correct anything in your life. This is what they thought about you at one point. We have the glow up. And this could be influenced by who they've dealt with in the past, who's given them these ideas, making them think that, people are a certain way and they don't change. Okay, so pile 3. So you're proving this person wrong. I remember I said bling bling, your accessories, you're looking fine. Like you have nice things. Like you're wearing nice jewelry or something like that. You've leveled up how you look, pile 3. You've leveled up your appearance, your fashion sense, how you do your hair, your jewelry, the way you dress. You've changed your look. You've glowed up. And you've proven them wrong because they thought you would always stick with this sort of like stale look or something. Maybe there was a look you had to go along with the time when you had this substance abuse problem, or you were addicted to a certain relationship or whatever. You know how sometimes when you're stuck in a crappy relationship, it can drain that person's energy, and then they start to look like toe up and not nice, and hair is unkempt and all this. But when you break up with a toxic person, all of a sudden you lose weight. You're looking great. Your makeup's nice. Your hair is done right. You're shaving. You're looking good. You start working out again and you lose weight. I feel like something they thought you would always be like this, that you would be washed out, stuck with this substance or this person or the situation. And they're realizing that you're proving them wrong now, because they're realizing that you're not going to stay with that. That's not going to be what it is. Okay, you're going to be looking good. You're going to be looking healthy. You have been, and you're looking very nice and wearing some nice quality pieces, things that have value. Or your drip is, out of this world. Okay, and you're looking really, really nice. And so that's something they did not expect from you. This is how you're proving them wrong. They thought that you would remain like that, washed up, washed out, all this. Okay. Now we have Gemini, rescue. Okay. Yeah. They feel that you have definitely improved the way you look. They feel you've definitely improved the way you look. You're looking buff, you're looking attractive. Let me change out your candle here. Yeah, appearance is definitely being hinted at here. Pile 3. Yeah, your appearance is definitely being hinted at. You're looking really, really good. Really, really good. Pile 3. I'm definitely getting weight loss vibes for some of you. Or just your skin is looking better. Your hair is looking better. Your health, you're radiant. You're glowing. You're glowing. Pile 3. Okay? They thought you were going downhill. They thought you were on a downhill trend and you were going to stay there. Okay, next we're getting the letter. Okay. So you're proving, pile 3, you're proving this person wrong. You're proving them wrong by communicating with you communicate with someone to help you break free of what was toxic and unhealthy. You sought help. Okay, they did not expect this of you. That's how you're proving them wrong. They thought you were going to stay stuck. They thought you were going to just be stuck in that place. You know, they didn't expect you to be able to break free by getting the help of someone, maybe in a position of authority or a mentor, or even maybe a medical professional or whatever, to help you break free of this. Okay? They did not expect that. They did not expect you to be able to look ahead and see, have the insight to know how to bring yourself back into balance and rescue yourself from this thing. Okay? There was a vortex. It's like you were getting sucked into this vortex. And you're able to rescue yourself and bring yourself back to glowing and beautiful and healthy and radiant. And you worked on yourself. You worked on your look. You worked on your health. You worked on your diet. And bringing things back into a balance again for yourself. Okay? Next we have heaven, forgiveness and peace. Yeah. You made a change. You made a switch up, Pile 3, for sure. This is something that was not expected of you. You're proving people wrong because it's like you had reached a blockade in your life. You either had a bad relationship where you were being treated badly, and it's like, you know, the universe was saying, not this way, fam, not this way, not this relationship, not the way you've been doing it, not like this. And so you have reflected, redirected your energy, and you have found peace. You found heaven. You maybe have forgiven this person. You've moved on from them, or moved on from the situation. You stopped being pessimistic. You're now more optimistic, more positive, uplifted. You have stopped focusing on what doesn't work, and you're focusing instead on what is amazing. So there's been a turnaround in your disposition as well, is what I'm picking up. You're proving people wrong because you're showing that you're able to rise above and rise to the skies and not stay stuck down below with these low vibrational energies that are present in the universe. Let's be honest. But we have to exercise discretion and turn away from them, or acknowledge them and move on to higher and better things. And you're finally doing this. You've been doing this. And this is how you're proving them wrong. You've elevated your circumstances. You are now, maybe instead of expending and wasting your energy on walls, people putting up walls and stuff, or a situation that's not giving or bending, you are now conserving your energy. You're conserving your energy and redirecting it towards things that are open, like the sky, not a wall, but the heavens, right? You're now focusing on the heavens. Perhaps you become more spiritual. You become more you become lighter in spirit. You decided to consciously choose higher vibrations and higher, positive vibrations, okay? Good vibrations. We have the winged wise ones, angelic help, miraculous aid. I was saying something about the angels just a little while ago. Angel helping in temperance. Yeah. Okay. I believe this is Archangel Michael. Archangel Michael is the one in temperance, right? As depicted in the Rider-Waite Smith deck. Okay. Yeah, you've been helped, Pile 1. Pile 3. You've been helped. Okay, we got the crystal ball, we got crystal vision. You've gone, they did not expect you, okay, to invoke the help of angels to help you heal, to rescue you, to bring you healing. They did not expect you to get help and be guided towards help, to help in your situation, okay? It says here angelic help. It says here rescue. you know? So they did not expect you to be rescued. They did not expect you to rescue yourself by, getting more spiritual, getting help from maybe even psychics, or getting help from your spirit guides, your angels, to start doing angel work. They did not expect you to start appealing to or beseeching to the angels in heaven and all this. They did not expect you to be guided to whatever it is that you need to transform your situation for the better. We have the serpent. A sly and subtle approach is needed. And I'm sorry if you're triggered by reptiles. Don't try not to look at it. But I have to honor this card. This is the card that came out for you. Okay, the serpent is actually, snakes are it represent the energy of healing. Okay, again, because in the caduceus wand, which is the sword with the snakes intertwined, that's what represents the medical industry, right? Have you seen that symbol at hospitals, where there's a sword? Let me see if I can pull it up so you can see. I'm not sure if you guys have ever seen that image. It's the Trismegistus, or is it, the healing wand of Hermes, or something like this. Yeah. So we say part 3 is that they did not expect you to heal, and they did not expect you to have such a cunning approach to healing your situation. Okay. They thought that you were just gonna be stuck trying to do it like a hard way. You work smart, not hard. That's what I'm getting. They are you're proving people wrong by your deciding to get clever about this. You decided to be clever in the way you broke free from this limiting energy in your life. You got clever. You stopped working so hard and you started working smart. And this is bringing success your way. This is what this is how you're proving them wrong. We have a call of destiny. Do you have a feeling that you're destined for greater things? Honor the call of destiny that comes from deep within you and release it into the universe through action. Look, it says you're in action and intention. You prove them wrong because you took action, Patri. You took action in your life to correct something that was going very, very badly. I'm sorry. I mean, that's just the truth. That's what I'm seeing. Okay. You took action. They did not expect. They thought you were just going to accept it as the status quo and just keep trucking with life, being depressed about what you have. And I guess that's just the way it's going to be. And no, you took a cunning approach. Isn't it in the Bible? They said, Jesus Christ said something like in Matthew 10:16, Jesus instructs his disciples to be shrewd as serpents and innocent as doves. Okay, so to take that quality on from the snake of being sneaky, strategic, plain and clean, you're not doing anything bad, but you're just taking on that quality. They did not expect you to be that intelligent, that strategic, okay, and to follow your destiny and get this glow up. You can see, look, this woman here, pretty pink hair, nice shape, glowing, radiant. You can see the glowing coming off of her, the glow. Call of destiny again, another woman, beautiful glowing skin. We have the healthy long hair and nice fabrics, and look, the glow in the background. Glow. You're glowing, Pathri. You are positively glowing, and they did not expect this from you. They did not expect you to be glowing, radiating health, beauty, gorgeousness, getting better with age. They did not expect that. They thought you were going downhill and you're going to be staying down. Wow. We have suspicion. I also feel too, pile 3, that they're kind of disappointed about it. I'm gonna be honest with you. They're a little bit disappointed about it. They thought you were going to be stuck there. And, this is kind of sick, I know, but some people, maybe a lot of people, if it makes them feel good when someone else is not doing as well as them. I feel like they felt like they were dressed really nicely, looking really good, and, and they're looking good. They're looking cutie patootie. Their stuff's together, and you kind of upset their expectations of you. Like they feel a loss because you broke free of this negative thing in your life and got healing. They feel a bit of a loss about it because, if you're looking bad, then that makes them look even better, right? That's their thinking. I think that's silly thinking. Doesn't make any sense. I'm fine with being next to beautiful people, okay? I don't care if I'm not, having a great day or looking great. I love myself. Like, I think I look great just by myself. I don't look perfect. I've got flaws. We've all got flaws. But if you're saying your beauty is determined on how ugly someone else is, the uglier they are, ooh, I feel like I'm looking really good now. There's something wrong there. Something to be healed within themselves or within you. I don't know. It's just not a healthy mindset. The mindset to have is, I try to take as good a care of myself as I can. And if someone's looking really good, I'm happy for them. If we're hanging out together and they're looking good in some ways and I'm looking good in different ways, let's all celebrate our successes together, right? That's the way to do it. And so I do think that they're celebrating your success with you, though. They're happy for you. They are happy for you, but there is a part of themselves that's a little bit disappointed. So anyways, we have suspicion, vigilance, hostility, jealousy. What did I say? They are jealous of your glow up. They are. It says the glow up right here. You're following your destiny and you're glowing up, and they're jealous, man. Okay? They thought you were going to be like either like ratchet. I'm hearing ratchet, raggedy, or always struggling, always stuck, and always, sort of like they gotten used to the storyline for you. They gotten used to expecting that from you. And now that you have let that go and look at that beautiful silhouette, they're jealous of it. They're jealous. Because maybe now you're even looking better than they are. It's quite possible, Pottery. Or they think you do. They see now that maybe, let's go with the weight loss analogy. Okay? You've lost weight and they're seeing that the kind of shape that you have, not that you've lost weight, is actually, they think it's better than the one they have. Even if they're slim already. Maybe they're the type that have slim hips and you're the type to have really curvy hips. And you're slim, but you got, I don't know. I'm just coming up with examples. And they're just jealous of this new thing you got going on, how you're commandeering your situation. I also feel like they're suspicious of how you went about doing this. They're kind of like, how did Pile 3 overcome this? Did they use a cheat? Did they cheat? Psh, who cares? It says in the Bible, be shrewd as serpents. Jesus Christ urged his disciples to be shrewd as serpents. So whatever tactics, whatever you need to get there, do it, Pottery. So you can have a beautiful life. And you did. And they're suspicious of this. Wow. Next we have, and you may have noticed some hostility from them, it's possible. If you've noticed some hostility for them, it has to do with this thing. With it, you've had this glow up and they're not liking it. It makes them feel uncomfortable. So on one side, they're smiling at you and partying and hooray, congratulations, you're healed now, you're healthy. But on the other side, they're like, I don't know, man. This is, I thought that I was going to be the pretty one, I didn't think Pile 3 was going to step it up like this. Maybe now they think, maybe now I got to do better. I don't know. So we got Tulip, unconditional. Remember Tulip Mania? I don't know if you guys are aware of the... there was a time in Denmark in I think the 1700s or maybe the 1600s. I'm not sure, but the tulip bulbs, the things you plant so the tulips could grow and all that, became super expensive. It was like it was kind of like Bitcoin or something like this. Like it just blew up all of a sudden. And they became super duper expensive. And at one point, they were more expensive than houses. So your value has skyrocketed, Pile 3. That's what they're saying. Your value has skyrocketed. And they are like, whoa, 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 slow down. This is where the jealousy is coming from. Slow down, pile 3. Oh my gosh, you look amazing. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. I mean, we, just chill a little bit here. This month is going on. They did not expect you to not only get better, but be splendid, glowing. They did not expect that. Okay, this is where you're proving them wrong. They maybe even said amongst themselves, guess pile 3 is always going to be kind of ratchet, or thought it, right? We have strengths. Okay. Wow. Look at that. Another female form, or just a slim, lithe, healthy body. Perhaps you started exercising, pile 3. Look, another slim, lithe body, beautiful, perched. You are glowing. And if you quote unquote cheated, I don't care if you cheated or whatever, you are healed. You might be eating more salad. You actually healed from within. This is giving me like Gaia vibes, where the health is radiating outward. It's not one of those fixes where you start taking some, where you just went on a starvation diet and you've wrecked your vitamin stores, your mineral stores, and your hair's falling out. No, you're glowing. Your hair's strong. It's long. Your skin is glowing. Your immune system is fantastic, strong. You have rebuilt yourself from the inside out. Wow, pile 3. And this is what they did not expect. Yes, hold on, Leo. Leo. Sorry, I had to go get my cat. I had to let my cat into the studio. He likes to hang out with me sometimes. Okay, so what I'm seeing here, pile 3, is that, you may also have built up your physical strength. You're more flexible. You have good muscles. You're strong. You're lithe. Your balance is back. You're glowing. Your hair's grown long, healthy. You're healthy from the inside. And they did not expect this. Okay? You're proving people wrong. They thought you were going to remain chubby or remain unhealthy or remain addicted or, I don't know what it is. Okay? Or maybe remain in this, when you get out of like a bad relationship, all of a sudden you lose weight, start taking better care of yourself. Your hair looks great. You look fantastic. You may have gotten free of a toxic relationship that they thought you would never break free from. We have my neighbor Totoro from Studio Ghibli Studios. Look, oh my gosh, look. We got it. Look, we got the vegetation, the tree perched on top. Look, Totoro and their friends are perched on top of this tree. You're sitting on top of the world, pile 3. You are sitting on top of the world with your friends. All right? You're proving people wrong by, showing that you're going to be hanging out. You're going to be coming out. You're going to be doing things with your friends. You're going to be going out. You're going to have a social life. You're going to live again. You're going to party with your friends. Your friends are like, where are you? Where did pile 3 go? Well, pile 3's back. Pile 3's confident. Pile 3 comes outside. We see pile 3. There's peace in you, pile 3. They see that you have peace of mind now. You can just sit still and look out across the horizon and be at peace. Your soul is at peace. Things are right with you. And you've broken away from this crazy situation, like a vortex just sucking you in. You resisted it. You broke free. You're powerful. You're healed. You're whole. You're glowing. Things are right with you again. All your brain chemicals are working correctly. If this was a mental health issue, you're back to that again. And this is how you're proving people wrong, pile 3. I hope you've enjoyed this reading. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know exactly how. I would love to know which part of this reading spoke the most to you. You can let me know in the comment section. Take good care of yourself, okay? And be sure to hype up this video. Thank you so much. It would really help me out. If you would like to, would really help me out. If you're interested in this tarot deck up here, I have listed all links in the description box with the links to these decks where you can purchase them, and that would help me out as well. And then also I'm offering a membership these days. I'm not sure if you guys are aware. I have a membership, and what you can do is you can join, and one of the perks, some of the perks that are being offered are early access to the videos that I put out on this channel, early access, sometimes by days, like 4 or 5 days. And also, there's also, I have a whole list of videos exclusively for my members, not available to anyone else, just for my members only. And you will also be getting prioritized responses to your comments. And that's what I'm offering for the membership. And thank you everyone else. If you want to support me for free, just subscribe to this channel, put likes on the videos and comment, engage. I welcome your comments. Thank you so much. And take great good care of yourself, okay? I'll catch up with you at the next one. Bye! Welcome to reading pile 4. So how have you proved people wrong? How have you proved them wrong, or a particular person that you have in mind? How have you proved them wrong that they're aware of, right? So you are number 4. I'm moving over to the left right here. My beautiful viewer, we have a butterfly. You ended up with a butterfly totem. You ended up with Aquarius, Gemini, and Aries. Okay. So pile 4, I feel like the way you're proving them wrong is, I think that they used to think you were more of like a stick in the mud, or someone who's stuck indoors all the time and or that doesn't go out much. And I feel like the way you have proven people wrong is that you are more outgoing these days. You go out more, you're seen more, you let your light shine more. You let people, you spread your wings and you let people see who you are. Also you've undergone some type of like transformation. You have become someone very different. You've blossomed. You've gone from being kind of like closed off about something, or maybe you're just going through a developmental phase of your life where during that part of your life you're just more, I don't know, private and kind of, reserved, while you figured out who you were, while you figured out how to be. And now you are sure of who you are, or you just entered a new phase where it's like you just feel ready to come out and be seen, ready to show off the way you are dressed or something. I'm also getting like maybe your fashion has improved, the way you dress yourself. This is a way that you have proven wrong. People thought that you weren't that great of a dresser, maybe, or people thought that you weren't really into fashion, but now you're showing that you're into fashion. Now you're showing that you know how to dress, that you got some good riz, and people are kind of taken aback by it. That's coming through. I'm getting pile 4 that you are, I don't know, you're showing energy. You're showing more energy lately. You are coming across more like energetic. You are showing more courage in your life. You're more outgoing, more assertive. You're not a wallflower, maybe not anymore. You're just more, you're putting yourself more out there. Perhaps you're taking risks when it comes to business. You have more success in your life. Maybe you're doing some deals, some business deals. You're just taking life on. You're taking on life. You're being more creative. I also feel like you're being more attractive also. I feel like this is the way you're proving them wrong, is they thought that you were like, maybe they used to think you were a 5 or a 6, but now you're like an 8, a 9, and they're like, whoa, they did not expect you to get to be that good looking, or maybe you bumped ahead. You really come up in the looks department. There's been a big transformation and you look a whole lot better now. Like I said, maybe the way you dress, or maybe your looks have sort of just blossomed. Maybe you had like maybe you have kind of like a beautiful swan situation on your hands, where maybe before you were cute, but now you're just downright gorgeous because you grew up, and your looks, you've really come into your looks. That's what I'm getting. And I think people thought that you were going to be stuck at a certain look or something that you had, not knowing that it was a phase. And so they kind of had you pegged as looking a certain type of way, and now you're looking a completely different type of way. Appearance is coming up a lot for you on this one, on this pile number 4. Also getting something about your personality too, just going from being introverted to being more outgoing, you know, taking the bull by the horns, getting out there, being brave, being assertive too, okay? Not just, oh, I'll do a bit more, like just like going for it and making things happen for yourself. That's also coming through as well. You're proving people wrong about that. And I feel like specifically people who have tried to mess with you too, people who have tried to push you around, people who have tried to sort of limit you or try to do you harm, they're noticing these days that you're not taking it sitting down any longer. You're not. You're now more assertive. You're now more like, if they try anything, you're like, and who are you and what do you want with me? Well, what's the problem here? Do you need to back up? You're like, they're like, whoa, you know, you're acting in ways they're not expecting. Your haters, your enemies, that kind of thing, okay? You're definitely stronger now. You got strong boundaries as well. You've put up some strong boundaries with people maybe who used to bully you, or people who didn't understand what your boundaries were, and people who did not respect what your boundaries were. That's all changing now. They're starting to see that you're not going to tolerate certain things, and you're gatekeeping them out of your life. That's very possible too. That's a new thing you've been doing. You've been gatekeeping out people who are full of it and not treating you correctly, whether they know it or they don't. Okay, let's take a look at your first tarot card. The Queen of Pentacles. Ooh, that's beautiful energy. So you've leveled up your finances too as well. That's what I'm seeing. You know, like I think people used to think, they used to think, when I say, what I mean by they is, you know, people in general, or a person you have in mind as you come to this reading with. You're like, you know, in what way have I proved this person wrong? Okay. And that they know it. They know the way you've proved them wrong, that they are aware of, right? They are realizing that you are very posh. You're well put together these days. You are a good, you know, a homemaker. Perhaps they used to think that you were sloppy, or that you weren't that cute, or that you were kind of broke or something. I don't know. But they feel now that you are very, very, you are very abundant. You're very resourceful. You take care of the practical details. You're not an airhead. You're very smart. You're very aware of what's going on. You're very nurturing. You're aware of what's going on in your environment. You're not just like, you know, you're not easy pickings and all this. We got the King of Pentacles. Oh my gosh. Definitely. So I feel like a way that they did not, that you prove them wrong, is your wealth, your status in life. Perhaps you've married a wealthy man and you yourself are now wealthy, or you've linked up with you now have a partner in your life who has a very good job, and you'll both make good money together, and together you guys are very wealthy. You know, it's something like this. Also getting like you're just channeling on multiple levels wealth into your life. Okay, wealth and abundance and poshness. Your environment is very nice to look at and hang out in, and it's well supported. And well, it's not like you come to someone's house and everything's really nice, but they're broke. You know, it's like you come to someone's house, everything's very nice. They offer you nice things to eat and drink, and they've got money in the bank. Okay, this is well backed, posh, very, very, you know, I don't know, like you're just doing really well. This is where you're proving them wrong. I don't think that they expected this from you, this type of abundance. This is where you're proving them wrong. Next, we're getting the Six of Cups. Yeah, this is someone who's known you for a long time. Could be someone that you grew up with, people that you grew up with, or something like this. Okay, that's who this person could be. I'm also getting like the way you've proven this person wrong is that you have children. Maybe they didn't think you were going to have children, that you were going to be successful. You're going to either have a successful husband, successful wife, or a stable husband, stable wife, have kids, have a family. They didn't expect you also to be, maybe to make this money in an innocent way. They didn't expect you to be so joyful and playful. Let's keep moving here. Get all the information we can. We got the Five of Cups. Exactly. So I think what's going on here, Pile 4, is that, you know, maybe they were aware of certain disappointments you had in the past. Okay, and they thought that you were just going to allow this to, maybe you were on the pessimistic side, maybe you were on you tend to focus on what had gone wrong, and so the impression they had of you is that you don't that you tend to just focus on the spilt milk. And this is why you've proven them wrong, is because you no longer do that, and you're focusing on all the good things in your life, your money, your comforts, your children, good times, happy times, joy. Let me get more information on this Five of Cups. Let's see, we have the Fool. Okay, so what I'm getting, pile 4, also is that this person, something they did not expect of you is that you would move on to another chapter of your life and leave them behind. This could be an ex of yours, I feel like, or someone that you used to work with, or someone you used to date, or someone that you used to be closer to, but you left them behind. You stopped including them in your life. They now feel that you have moved on to another chapter of your life. You're not even thinking about them. You know, they're trying, they try sometimes to send you messages and try to like talk to you and get your attention. And you're like, what? You're not even paying attention to them. You're gone. And they're realizing it's because you have such a good life. You have beautiful children. You have a wonderful husband. You're creating a beautiful home. You are making money. You are, I don't know. They're just like, they feel left behind in the dust, so to speak. Okay. We have the Hanged Man. Yeah, there's just no movement. Pile 4. There's no movement. This is about a relationship. Okay. Someone, you're proving them wrong because they thought that maybe you would make a move towards them, or make moves to bring them back into your life, or reach out or something, and you're being completely neutral and detached from them. This is really disappointing them, and especially coupled with the fact that they know that you have a good life. They're realizing, oh my gosh, I don't really mean much to pile 4 anymore. I'm not important to pile 4 anymore. Maybe they disappointed you and let you down in the past, and you're just kind of tired of this, and you're like, okay, you know what, I get it. You want to be a disappointment? Fine, I'll go focus on the things on my life that are awesome completely. No more on you at all. So I feel like this person, maybe they were expecting you to give them like some half attention or something. Well, I wasn't all bad, you know, sometimes I was good, so I guess I deserve some attention. They don't understand that your standards are high, pile 4. That for you, based on the fact that they dared to disappoint, that they proved to be disappointment like they were. You can see 3 cups down, 2 cups up. That's just too much. You're like, you know what? My life is better than this. If you're going to be more losses than you are joys, then I've got better things to go focus my time and energy on. And so they thought that you would give them the benefit of the doubt, or based on the fact that they'd given you some good moments, there were some good things there, that you would maybe give them the time of day, and you're not giving them any time of the day. And this is something that you're proving them wrong in, is that you were going to give them any time of the day. You're not giving them anything. You're just focusing on your good life. We have solar plexus chakra. You know, the solar plexus, this is governing the part of the body that is, I believe, the abdomen, belly button, or is it the rib cage? Let me see. Let me confirm this. The upper abdomen, my bad. The upper abdomen, the navel area. Yeah, exactly. The upper abdomen, navel area, and it does govern like your self-confidence issues, your self-esteem, your willpower, your boundaries even too. Okay, it's related to that. Having healthy boundaries. So pile 4, they thought that you would continue to allow them to disappoint you. They thought that you would continue to give them room to I'm just gonna be me. I mean, sometimes I might disappoint you, but sometimes I might be nice to you. Why don't you just accept me? And you're like, I don't accept that. I don't accept it. Okay, I don't accept that you want to come into my life so that sometimes you can disappoint me. I want you to do better than that. Either do better than that or GTFO. You know what I'm saying? And I think that they did not expect you to, and it's not a mean thing. They're realizing it's not a vengeance thing. It's not a revenge thing. It's a healthy boundaries thing. You just have standards, and that's all it is. And so they are shocked about this in you, that you've come into this, that you are gatekeeping your good traits. your hospitality, your warm energy, your loving energy, your practical practical benefits that come with you, your nurturing energies, your sense of motherhood, all this, or I don't know, abundance, all that. You're keeping them away from your garden. You're keeping them away from it. Okay, you're keeping them out, and so they are taken aback by this. We have Alicia. Interesting. I'm gonna need a little Wild Archetypes booklet on this one. Okay, and for Roman numerals, we are looking at. Oops. Oh my goodness. Oh, these are sideways or. Okay, yeah, like that. Okay. This is LXXVII, which is 77. Okay, let's check it out. Wow, this is pretty much near the end of the book here. One more. So it's LXXVIII. Okay, so we have 77. And the last card in the deck is 78. So this is the second to the last card in the deck. I find that to be very interesting. Okay, let's get some information here. We have truth. Wow. You're living your truth. You're living your truth, Pile 4. You're no longer pretending. It's almost like they understood that you are having to make compromises with yourself and say, okay, this person's disappointing me. This person's hurting me. That's not quite right for me, but I'm going to go ahead and just make space for them and know that they'll hurt me. And I guess I'll accept that hurt. You're done. You're done, Pile 4. You're not going to accept that hurt anymore. You're not going to make space for what does not match your truth anymore. The only thing that matches your truth is abundance. Okay. The only thing that matches your truth is stability, stable emotions, stable ways of being. The thing that matches your truth is, garnering success, wealth, business. That's what you're focused on right now. Being disciplined and manifesting abundance in your life, and reliable energies that are reliably good, at least most of the time, right? And so they did not expect you to get here. They did not expect that. They thought you would keep accepting this, 60% bad, 40% good energy. That's not good enough for you. Okay, and it's disappointing them. They're disappointed. Pile 4. But that's their problem, right? We have runic dice. Oh, I love these. I love runic dice. The rune that's standing out to me is Thoggoz. And is this Yibo? Yeah, it's Yibo. Thoggoz and Yibo. I mean, Thoggoz and Yibo. Those are standing out to me. Things are growing for you. Things are increasing for you. Especially when it comes, there's gifts, fortuitous outcome, partnership, commitment. This is now these. That's also standing out to me. Patience, passing through difficult learning situation, hardship, need. And this is M, which is AWOS, movement. So you have moved through difficult times. Okay? They did not expect this, that you would pass through the difficult times. They expected the difficult times to stay with you. This person may be a sadist. They may be sadists. And they wanted to see you stuck with difficult times. We're seeing Fehu here. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Ansu's. Communicating what? Othala. Possessions. This is inheritance. Ancestral wisdom. Yeah, you made it through the difficult times, and you're now teaching. You're passing on what you've learned to others, and what you're teaching is focus on the good, and keep out the bad. Work your way through the bad, and enhance the good by focusing on it. Okay. Perhaps there's some type of inheritance coming to you. They didn't expect you to. Oh, I know what it is. They didn't expect you to hang in there long enough to enjoy the gifts of inheritance. This is giving me like in-laws vibe for some reason. Maybe it's not an in-law, I don't know, but just apply it to your situation as it fits. I'm also getting like you're honoring your truth now. You're honoring your truth. And we'll put it all together at the end. We have the assassin, ruthlessness, conviction. See, this person, all right, they remember I said something about there's some negative energy going on. Some people like, and I kind of picked up on sadist energy or like bullies or something like this. I feel like they wanted to be the thorn in your side. They wanted to be allowed to stay, to be the thorn in your side. Isn't that disgusting? You know, I just don't get it. I don't get it. You know, and I'm not like this, and I don't understand the people who are. They know they're causing you inconvenience, and they thrive on your displeasure. They thrive on your pain, instead of trying to create good things in the world and come together and communicate and heal. They're not, I don't know. I'm not trying to say there's a good kind of person, a bad kind of person, but I do think that there are people that cling to the light, that want light for themselves and others, and there are people who don't focus on that. They don't care about that. Let's just leave it at that, okay? We have the assassin. So I feel like something they did not expect for is that you were going to get rid of them. That you had become convicted at, I need to get rid of this thing that causes me disappointment, or this person that causes me disappointment. I want them gone. Not that you want them dead, because you can see a skull here, but in a sense, yes, symbolically, you wanted this energy dead in your life. You wanted it assassinated, kaput, done, removed, exorcised, okay, ended. And this they find disappointing. They didn't expect it. They thought you would continue to tolerate it. And they're realizing that, no, that's not how you flow. That's not how you roll. We have embracing enthusiasm. Shout to the heavens with happiness. Exactly. They did not expect that you would be free of them. That you'd be like, you know what? I've decided, you who likes causing me pain, you're a tiny little thing on the corner over there. And I'm going to make you one. And I'm going to leave you behind. I'm not going to care. And they're still trying to reach out, say, hey, listen, look at me. And you're like, what? You're like, where? I don't see anything. I'm going. You know, you just don't care anymore about this person. You have started ignoring them. They didn't expect this. You have been just focusing on all the beautiful things. Look, butterflies, more butterflies. You've transformed your world into a place of beauty, and it's like you have manifested so many beautiful things for yourself, and that is only that has your attention now. Only that. You no longer give your attention to that which is trying to make you dim your light or be a thorn in your side. And I feel like this person felt justified in saying, you know, they're like, but I have a right to live. Yes, I can be cranky. Yes, I can be like this. Yes, sometimes I'm a little pessimistic or sadistic or I'm not that nice, but I have a right to be here. No, you don't have a right to be here. Time to go. You don't have a right to be here, okay? Or it could be an aspect of yourself, okay? It's possible for a few of you. You decided to get rid of this pessimistic part of you, a shadow aspect that always wants to focus on what's wrong, always wants to dim your light, take away from your moments of joy and remind you of the bad things in the world. We got rest. Yeah, I'm just seeing, like, you know, we got the hanged man, we got rest. There's something about no movement. You're not making any movements towards them. You're not reaching out to them. You're detached. You've removed yourself. You're resting, your peace. You've gotten rid of the thing that was trying to cause you unrest. That was causing you unrest. Okay. Wow. Good job, Pile 4. We have sorrow. Exactly. So you put up your boundaries. Okay, this is how you're proving people wrong. They thought you were going to continue to allow for this thing that was causing you to be sad. They thought you were going to continue to allow for it. Whether it's depression, they thought that you were going to continue to allow someone who was depressed to be around you, or someone who was going through emotional pain or unhappiness to come around you to rain on your parade and try to make you feel less than or cut you down and make you feel bad and infecting you with their nonsense, okay? You're proving people wrong with that. Also, another message, if this is internal, is that people have noticed, they thought you were going to be depressed forever. They told you, the Queen of Pentacles, another meaning for the traditional Rider-Waite Queen of Pentacles is melancholia. So you have nice things, but you're sad for some reason, right? So you have a nice life, but you just have a sad, down mood. You just lean towards being a little depressed, And you decided, no more. I want this out. I want to enjoy the good things in my life. So you've made this change to your disposition, your temperament, so you can enjoy your life more. You're actively choosing joy, happiness. You're letting go of the disappointments and focusing on disappointments. You're like, I'm leaving that behind. Forget it. Oh, so those things didn't go right? I don't care anymore. I want to go enjoy my life. I want to have fun. I want to live. I want to be good. I want to feel good. So this is something people thought you would never change about yourself. And the fact that you've changed it is proving them wrong. We have the FU. Truth. Yeah. I feel like you definitely kicked someone to the curb, Pile 4. You kicked someone or something to the curb. I'm getting like it was a person. Yeah. You told that person, you know what? I'm about my truth. My truth is, my well-being is very important to me. So I don't care how powerful you are, how moneyed you are, how whoever you are. Even if you think I'm getting like karmic vibes, maybe they're the dark side of you or something, or it could be the dark side of you literally. And you're like, no, goodbye. Out. I don't want this dour mood in me, or this dour mood in others, or this dour person. By dour, I mean sulky. Okay? Or gloomy, right? Just, always gloomy, always, or mostly gloomy, mostly stern, mostly blah. You're like, you either got rid of someone like this, or you got rid of it in yourself, or you told someone else, get rid of this in yourself. Get rid of it. I don't want this negative energy around me. I don't want it around me. Okay? Because you realize you just got this life you're living, that you're conscious of, that you're aware of, and you want it to be a good one. You want it to be a good one. We have Leo Kingdom. This person could be a Leo. It's possible. Just take it as it resonates. If it's not that, then don't worry about it. They did not think, okay, that you would take charge of your situation like you are right now. They did not think that. They did not think that you would feel like, you know what? I'm the boss of my life. I am the boss of my life. And you're stepping into your power. They did not expect. I think maybe this person thought also that you were young, or that you're the younger generation. So this is, maybe they thought that you would always view them as king, or you would view the way you're proving them wrong, Pile 4, is that though you are the younger generation, you understand that you are the king, queen, boss of your life and how it should go. Not them, not anyone else, not anything else. We have number 29, woman. This person could be a woman. This person that you were trying to get rid of. That's always coming around you frowning. This could be, I'm starting to get like, this could be like a friend who was never happy around you. And you start realizing, oh, maybe they're jealous of me. Or it could be I'm sad to say, like a sister or sister-in-law or mother-in-law or some female relative, or I don't know. There's something about a woman coming up here. So just take it as it resonates, leave the rest for others. And you became ruthless in, I want this energy gone out of my life. I want this woman or man or whoever, it doesn't have to be a woman, it could be a man, who cultivates, nurses, ruminates on losses, and just wants to be negative, pessimistic, around me, gone. I want their influence gone, out of my life. You cut them off, not just only physically, but also energetically as well. We're getting chakras here. So we have demon, overcoming self-doubt. Yeah. So this is something they did not expect from you. Okay. They thought that you would continue to be silly and kind of like childlike and keep accepting this. Again, we're back to this whole thing where there was a demon of self-doubt that you had to overcome, Part 4. You kept doubting yourself. You kept thinking, I don't know about this person. Let me make room for them. Come on. Yeah, sure. Come along. And you try to see the good in this person, and you try to, be the light, but they would keep hurting you, keep disappointing you, keep trying to tank your emotions, keep trying to make you feel bad, keep trying to pull your emotions down into the dirt, damn. And you had to overcome. They forced you to face up to a certain energy in your life, which is the limiting energy of self-doubt. You thinking, disregarding your instincts about this person, not believing in your power to gatekeep and say, okay, no, that's ruining my happiness, I need to get rid of that, or allowing what was somehow allowing or continue to allow this person to ruin your mood or ruin your life or your energy. The well watcher, poison it is a good way to put it. The well watcher, wisdom, power of the divine. Look here, we're getting another gate. Someone who's guarding the well. Yeah, sometimes like back in the day, people would fence, and I think they still do it actually. People would fence, they would fence the water well to prevent accidents. It was like a safety measure, like to keep children and pets safe, and just protect it, in general. Wow. Wisdom, power of the divine. You learned. They did not expect you to learn that you needed to put up your guard. They did not expect you to do that, Part 4. They thought you would just keep letting them come through, just keep letting them come and soil your well, just keep coming by and putting some poison your areas, and maybe even threaten your kids, maybe not threaten your kids with violence, but just somehow, impacting your children's energy in a bad way. Or your inner child in a bad way. You protecting your inner child from falling into the well, or protecting children from falling into the well. You started taking safety measures. They did not expect you to start realizing that, you don't deserve to be around the well. This person did not expect you. Symbolically speaking, it could be maybe whenever they come around, maybe when this person comes to visit you, maybe you stop them from visiting you. You're like, here, I'll pay for a hotel and we'll meet up for lunch. You stop them from visiting your house altogether. Or if maybe that was too much or taking it too far, maybe you started giving them a section of the house, and you would just abandon that section of the house for them to be hanging out, and the rest of the house is yours, and a locked door or wall would separate you all while they were staying over, so that there was no mixing or very little mixing. Or maybe energetically, if they were talking to you or if they came to hang out with you, you stopped talking to them or trying to uplift them. You stopped playing that role of, maybe they just need me to cheer them up, naively pouring yourself and pouring your light in when they were intentionally poisoning yours and pervasively, and insistently poisoning your energy with disappointed, sorrowful thoughts, and being melancholy and maybe even jealous, or I don't know, okay? But you're just like, no, I'm done with that. So this could be inside of you. You learn to gatekeep that part of yourself out of the rest of your life, or you just said, no, stop it. I'm not going to feed that energy anymore. I'm going to ignore it. So we have serendipity. Bright new prospects are on the horizon. Yeah, you moved on. Look, oh my God. What do we need here? We got butterfly for your object. 4 butterflies here. Look, another butterfly here on this woman's hand. These are all from different decks. And yeah, so pile 4, you are proving people wrong by choosing to focus your energy entirely on that which makes you happy. that which makes you smile, perks you up, lifts you up. That's all you care about anymore. You don't want to focus on sorrowful people, sorrowful things, people trying to pull you down, people trying to poison your energy. You know, you're tuning them out. You're making them irrelevant. You're making them tiny. You're making them small. You have a blocked heart. Yeah, you're keeping this person who has a blocked heart. Someone's got a blocked heart chakra. Someone's got a blocked heart chakra. And this is an emotional imprint from their past experiences, okay? And they've cultivated bad energies. And they're trying to bring it into your life. And you're like, no. I'm also getting that you've healed your blocked heart chakra. Perhaps you had, we have a few chakras coming up here. We have the third, which was the third chakra, the solar plexus chakra, okay? And the heart chakra, which is the one that governs feelings, empathy, love. Someone's sense of empathy is blocked. And this is what you've been dealing with, okay? Let's focus first on this being someone else. They don't have empathy. Pain has caused them to sort of encapsulate their heart. There's a hard shell around their heart, and to protect their heart from pain. And as a result, the way it transfers over is they don't care what others are experiencing. They're in lockdown mode. They're in lockdown mode. So they don't know how any other way to be. And so you figure them out. You figure them out, Pal 4, and you're now focusing on what you love. If this is you, then you're learning how to protect your heart. That's one message coming through. And you are focusing only on the good things. You're trying to heal yourself. You're healing yourself from this, okay? You're no longer going to be the sacrificial lamb. You're not accepting this endless suffering any longer. You're resting. You're getting away from it. We have whistleblower. Oh my gosh. Betrayal, report, expose, leak. So I'm getting that you would maybe make reports. They did not expect you to do this. They did not expect you to tell on them. Yeah, they did not expect you to take note, to report this negative energy. And it's, oh my gosh, they are so broken up over it. They're like, what? I can't be me? They know what they're doing. And basically, maybe you've reported this negative energy that's sort of trying to pull you down or jack everybody else up or mess you up. And you reported it. You talked about it. You talked about what this person was doing in the shadows. And yeah, this is something they did not expect you to do, was to expose this negative energy, to take charge of your situation, to ruthlessly get rid of this negativity out of your life. Okay, this person who may have caused you pain or caused you disappointments. We have lantern. You illuminated the truth. You illuminated the truth, Pile 4. No more hiding. Someone's in the shadows. We got the light. Pile 4, the way you are proving these people wrong is that you don't play in the dark. You play in the light. You play in the light. You play in healing. Okay, you want healing. You want safety. You want rest. You want empowerment in your situation. And you're dissing everything else that tries to go against that. Period. No negotiations when it comes to that. We got movement. So you're making progress in your situation. You are being unstuck. I feel like this person, they wanted to keep you stuck dealing with this negative energy. They wanted to keep you stuck. It was their way of, I don't want to call it revenge, but you know how they say misery loves company? Yeah. They wanted to keep you there stuck with their misery. They wanted to keep you hurting with them. And you were like, nope, if I have to take my whole house, that whole piece of land on my back and move the entire chunk of land somewhere else, so be it. Okay. So I'm just getting, look, you got the hot air balloon moving off. You got the ostrich, or is it emu, carrying a chunk of land with a windmill, everything somewhere else, relocating. Perhaps you relocated. This is something they thought you were just going to keep staying there, taking this negativity. Maybe it was a neighbor and you're like, I'm not, and you lived there forever, and they thought you were just going to keep being there, taking their garbage energy, their unfriendly, sour mouth energy or whatever, and they're disappointed that you left. They're disappointed you left them behind. Can you imagine? Even though they weren't giving you positive energy, they're disappointed that you left them behind. Okay. And lastly, we're getting Ponyo from Studio Ghibli. And that's a beautiful image. Again, more of this. And I'm off. Gonna enjoy my life. And, this is Ponyo. She is the child of, like a water god and a water goddess. Okay. And she's a powerful creature, actually. Don't let her cute little looks fool you. She's the daughter of a god and a goddess. And she's like the waves of the ocean or something like this, okay? I don't know if you guys ever watch this movie. You should watch it. It's really good. If you like anime, I recommend Studio Ghibli movies in general. You can watch any. But this Ponyo is a really good one. And, she's just like wants to be wild and free. And look at that big smile on her face. And she's the opposite of the idea of being, bottled or like kept prisoner or whatever. It's not even that. It goes against her nature. It goes against your nature, powerful. This is what they're realizing. That you were born to live a happy and free life that wasn't meant to be hemmed in by their negativity. They were mourning something. Let me get some more information about this person. I'm really curious about this mourning. And pessimistic energy. Let me get more information. Why is this person mourning so much and in so much sorrow around pile 4? What's this sorrow and depression? Okay, we got this one and this one. Oh, we got 2. Okay, let's get some information. The Chariot. Okay, maybe they were depressed about the kind of car you drive. Maybe they were depressed about you being the person who's living there. They're depressed about your status in life. Depressed about how maybe how strong you are, how physically, maybe you have a really nice body. Maybe they were sad about the fact that you had piled up with someone who things were going well for you. Maybe because you relocated. Maybe they were sad about this. Maybe because you moved. Sad about what? Overkill. Maybe they were sad about the fact that they felt like a victim of your success. They felt like a victim of your success. They took it personally. Your success made them feel bad. Okay. Wow. We have the Lovers. So this is a situation where maybe you had someone in your life that you loved and who loved you back very much, very into you, and this made them feel bad. They felt bad about the fact that you had found your soulmate, or that you all have found each other. That's coming through. And then we're getting the 4 of Swords again. Okay, it came up. Well, we got Rest. I'm linking it to that. But it's the 4 of Swords is coming up, meaning that I'm getting like avoidant energy, resting energies, healing energies. This is why they were hurting. They had to set things aside. They had to set their warring, pain-causing ways aside. They had to stop trying to cause pain actively. I feel like this person may have been a sadist who liked to cause pain. And when their revenge, they feel a lot of pain about other people's success. Okay, let me see. Why were they disappointed that you moved on or left them behind? Because it seems like this person maybe would be happy to see you go. Why wouldn't they be? Since you make them feel bad, why were they disappointed about seeing you go? Okay, why was this person disappointed about seeing pile 4 move on and leave them behind and ignore them? Oh my goodness, there's a lot of information coming through. Oh my lord. Okay, we'll get through this as quickly as possible. Do a quick interpretation here. Because you were successful. You're very disciplined. Maybe you relocated. Okay, they were just disappointed to see you go. They were disappointed to see you go because you were very maybe you made them feel whole. They didn't have much closure. We have the Knight of Cups. Someone loves you. Someone loved you. The Queen of Swords. You spoke your truth. You didn't want anything more to do with them. This is why they were disappointed to see you go. You just didn't want to deal with it anymore. They were disappointed to see you go because they were not able to victimize you anymore. They wanted to be able to victimize you. Two of Pentacles. Changing things. They didn't want to have to change. Maybe because you were a fun person. They saw that you were a fun person. This is why they were disappointed about you going. They saw that you were generous with them. You were generous. That was your heart. That you were patient with them. Okay? This person liked to abuse your generosity and your patience, in my opinion. It scandalized them. It made them look bad. They realized that maybe part of why you moved or you moved on was because of them. And so they, yeah. Wow. Okay, that's what I'm seeing in the cards, guys. Hope that gave some insight. Because there's only so much detail we can get because this is a group reading. I will give personal readings at some point, but that's going to come later on down the line once this channel is well established and I'm working a little bit less. I'm working on getting a video editor online to take over some of this editing work from me, and then I will be more focused and available to do live streams and getting doing one-on-one sessions, like offering readings, private reading sessions, but I'm not there yet. And that's what I'm seeing in the cards, guys. If you enjoyed this reading, please give it a thumbs up. If it resonated, please tell me exactly what part of this reading spoke to you. I'd love to hear about it in the comment section. If you like this deck and you would like to purchase it, and then look in the description box. I have the links there for you guys, so you can always get these decks from there. And also, you should consider joining. One of the perks that come with joining this channel is that you will get early access to these videos. I also have some early access to the weekly videos that I post, and also I have members only videos available for you to watch. They're for my members only. I also have a members only voting poll that you can vote and decide what videos you want to see me do next. You priority responses to your comments over others, and when I start doing live streams, you will be the ones who can join in, and I will converse with. You can maybe ask for readings from there. We can talk. That'll be once a month. This is way ahead in the future, and that's it. Okay, thank you so much. Please be sure to hype up this video. I really appreciate you. Take good care of yourself, okay? And I will catch up with you at the next one. Bye.